Oh, hi everyone, and welcome to the Scratticus Academy. We are back with some horoscopes today. So, before we start, please check out the links coming up in chat now. That includes our Discord. There is a channel purely for this game where we would love to hear what you think about it, what's your favorite bit, and what are your theories. Otherwise, if you've missed any episodes, you can head over to our YouTube channel and catch up or binge watch them, like I think most of us do. Otherwise, a huge thank you to our wonderful sponsors in the form of Mage Hand Press. You can find me running their Dark Matter with Argo 37 tomorrow. And also the Deck of Many, which have lovely, wonderful decks of many spells that move, and they're fabulous and wonderful. And also Humblewood, which is coming out very soon, and it's gorgeous. I'm in love with Humblewood. It's adorable, and go check it out. Otherwise, I'm going to hand over to the very lovely Hans. Oh, hi.
Hello, I am here and happy to be lovely again. I am doing two things, so my brain is going to stop for just a second. Any second now. Okay, so now that I'm kind of paying attention again, hey everybody, I'm Hans. I'm here to run this game. I love it. It is a super great game. I love Mac. Mac is awesome. Mac, thanks for subscribing. We appreciate you around here. We're going to go around. We're going to talk about the cast as we get ready for our super spooky game. We have 2 episodes left. It's not fun to talk about, but we're going to have some fun tonight. We are also going to go around in a circle and introduce everyone, starting with the very lovely Sarah. Oh, hey, Sarah.
Oh, hey. My name is Sarah Kinney, and you can find me on Twitter at this. I mostly talk about tabletop role-playing, D&D, and currently Halloween. I have my first of like 4 Halloween parties tomorrow. But in this game, I also dress up. And I play Cameron Sheehan. She is a red-headed, metal-loving, combat boot-wearing, flannel-wearing woman in her mid-20s who recently got a gig working at a online BuzzFeed-style shop, and she's a writer. And I can't wait to see where the story takes us this time around.
I think we may find that several of the characters are employed at the same like BuzzFeed-ish type site. But, let's find out in game. We are missing Allison tonight. Allison plays Josie Conrad. She is very much missed. Planes suck. It's their fault. They need to fix that. We're going to miss her. Everything will be fine. The horror threshold number is just higher. And I mean, everybody's dealing with that. They love it. It's definitely why they come to play this game. So let's continue on to the very lovely Alice. By the way, Alice has a Patreon that everyone should go see because it has amazing photography. So it'll come up in a second.
Actually almost forgotten. Again, I swear I'm good at this. Hi, I'm Alice. I'm also White Rabbit Pick on Twitter, which is where you can find me. I am the headmistress of the Academy. I also DM and play on the channel. And as Hans says, and always reminds me, thank goodness, I have a Patreon. Please go and check that out. That's for my photography stuff and shenanigans if you want to go and check that out. Otherwise, I play Darcy or Darcy Moretti. She has an awful family. They're just very annoying and they strive to make her life awkward. However, last week she was slightly more positive and not as mousy last week after having a bit of a breakthrough. She has a bit of a temper, but only here and there, and she's growing into some boots right now. So and she's the photographer, or one of, I should say.
Very good. And we're going to continue around our circle as we go like this to the very lovely Sammy. Hi, Sammy.
Hi, I'm Sammy. I'm Smallish Sam on Twitter, and I play Lewis. And thank you, Mac. Appreciate it. That's all.
Oh, I love you, Sammy. It's so good. Okay, let's finish up with the very lovely Mel. Hey, Mel.
Hey, I'm Mal. You can find me on Twitter at Badale. I've got a pinned tweet for all the fun things I'm doing, which will be updated soon, I'm sure. I play Sullivan O'Callahan. He's the #urban druid. I feel like that really explains everything other than now that we're reaching peak sad boy, which is part of my brand. So yeah. Also, totally go, like Max said, and buy Hans's game, which I just put the link in chat. It's a good game. Go get it and ride some dragons.
No one has proven it is a good game yet. It's just a concept that I'm excited about.
It's
and
a
spent
good game.
I spent almost 2 hours on it. So I mean, what could possibly be wrong?
The fact that right away Alice was like, I need to sketch some of these dragons. That's how you know it's a good game.
Dragons.
Right there.
Yeah. Pick your collaborative partners well, people, because everyone in this game, for example, is fantastic and you should collaborate with them. That's how you're going to have fun in life. So with that, and by the way, everybody in chat, I definitely consider you all part of this game because it makes it a lot more fun when you are here. There are several people, I can't just say one person's name anymore. I'm not going to do that, but there are several people who are very important to making sure this game goes well. So thank you all. We are near the end, and that's making me a little bit sentimental. So I told the crew that we're going to be starting. Oh, I almost forgot all the beginning stuff. This is why I have a list. Number 1, Remember, there's a horror threshold. Right now, what is it at 4? That is very low. It means that if they roll 4 or less, something bad is going to happen, probably supernatural. But 4 is not a very big number because there are still 16 other numbers on a d20 they could roll that would be fine. So if you would like to see this stream get more interesting, please donate by increasing the horror threshold number. There are other things you could do, such as give players advantages, but I don't think that's my part to promote, so I'm going to leave that off. You can increase the horror threshold. That's always good to do. This game is based on horoscopes, and we have our horoscope for this week, which is for Capricorns. There may be some confusion on technical and communication levels this morning, dear Capricorn. This is a time for playing things by ear, rather than expecting everything to run as planned. Some interactions with others, particularly a partner or close friend, can leave more questions than answers. Doesn't sound like this game at all. Probably totally unrelated. Let's get into some music. I hope this is not the one I think it is, because I think I did the thing I don't like. We're going to wait a second and find out how bad this is. This is good. In San Francisco, on the 4th of July, 9:25 p.m., we're on top of the West Tower of the Golden Gate Bridge. It's cold. The wind is beating at you rapidly as you stand up here. The pedestrian walkway is closed. There's no one beneath you. The bridge is closed for foot traffic, but there's still cars rolling through. And the bay is about to be lit up by fireworks. Everyone's there. Darcy, Sullivan, Lewis, Cameron, Agatha, and standing across from them, a werewolf named Manny, currently in his human form. He's wearing a button-down shirt that's been torn open. The buttons are done, there's nothing underneath that, and a pair of jeans. Standing alongside him, a lady who owns a local antique store named Amy. Another werewolf, and maybe a friend, named Jessica. And the lawyer who got everyone back in business, Miles Shaw. Manny's hand is on Miles' shoulder, and he says, "If you don't give me that book, I'm pushing him off." And that's where we end. So before that, let's go back to Horoscoops. A lot earlier that day. In the morning, we were dealing with Agatha showing Lewis her phone. She turned to you and showed a Twitter feed from a man named Jake Brown that had been retweeted by someone who was named Shepherd Poole. I just switched off my document. That's my fault. And it said, first off, it was a picture of a dragon flying over Golden Gate Park. And then it said, "We have a winner." Lots of exclamation points. "Happy 4th of July. Explosion, firework, explosion, American flag." I think I threw the American flag in now, but you know what? We're going to make some edits, just like they do on TV when you go back into the bumper. So with that, you're all in the office. Bill looks at the phone and says, "Well, what do we do now?" What do you think, Cameron? What do we do now?
And Cameron is she's maybe pulled up the article and is looking at the picture herself. How does this picture of a dragon look? How does it stack up to the pictures this group has taken?
You've gotten a lot of cryptid experience pretty recently. Why don't you go ahead and make an intellect roll on this? The difficulty is just 2.
All right. Difficulty 2. Okay.
It's a really good roll. It does not look very good. To you, you're thinking this has got to be photoshopped. Something's been done here. It doesn't look right. It doesn't seem like the clouds match up with the way the dragon is positioned and so forth. Something looks off.
Ooh, so Cameron, like, she's pretty quiet for a while until she's like zooming in and maybe she finds a spot that like clearly looks stitched together really poorly. And she kind of like waves of her bill and says, I don't actually think we've been beat to it. This look at this. The picture isn't, it's not even that good. I mean, I doubt this will claim the million. There's still time for us to get out there.
Yeah, but they've already got Shipward Pool retweeting it. I mean, what's that all about? What do we do with that?
I think he's excited someone got that picture of a dragon, and I don't know, if I were him, maybe I'd be using it to drum up more interest or to get more people to take pictures. You know what? I bet we'll see another tweet in a couple hours saying maybe a better one will win, or that this one's a fake, like an actual fake.
Yeah, maybe. Darcy, what do you think? Does that look real?
And I'm assuming I see the same as Cameron effectively with and she sort of starts looking at it and she squints at it, thinking of all the time she sat staring at screens, editing photos. She's like, that doesn't line up. That color's wrong. I don't even think that's supposed to be there. Like, it starts like picking it apart and literally almost separating it out so she can see anything extra.
There's a weird layer artifact that's there in one corner, and you can just imagine it's just been lifted and placed there.
I mean, it's not going to be long until someone disproves this.
Why not us?
That's a good point. Why not us? Maybe we should do that.
However, if we then come back with a photo of a dragon, our own, is that going to look like we're disproving someone else just to show off our own version?
Sullivan, stop me if I'm crazy, but right now to me that's sounding pretty good. Sullivan?
I mean, Darcy's got a point. Yeah, we should probably disprove it if it's fake, but if we just turn around, that makes us look pretty fishy.
Well, I mean, Cameron, you're good at this stuff. Can't you make like a fake account to disprove it?
Oh,
wait, but again, we're a legitimate news source. I mean, why do we have to fake anything?
No. We'll go get our own photo. I'm saying get a fake account to disprove this one. That's not linked to us.
I don't think we need to fake this. I want that $1 million. I think we should just go for it. Let's just tell them, hey, this is clearly not right, and maybe that'll get us a chance to get a real photo.
What if we do both? Maybe Sully, you could like jump on social media and start pointing out all the things Darcy said, and I have a bunch of friends online. I could, shoot the tweet to them and say, hey, jump on this. Agree, find your own problems with it. They're pretty sharp.
And we don't have to say like, this is wrong. Just say this doesn't look right. Am I being, you start pointing it out and everyone will find it.
Lewis, Agatha, back me up here. Do I sound crazy? I mean, shouldn't we just go for this? I mean, this feels like something to be aggressive about.
You always sound crazy, but I'm kind of just echoing what everybody else says. I mean, it's obviously fake and we can do better. We do have to make sure that the optics look good and it doesn't look like, as Cameron said, we're just trying to disprove theirs just so we can have a shot at it, but because we actually think it's a fake.
Agatha puts her hand on you in a way that's not terribly gentle, Lewis, and kind of shoves you and goes, Uncle, look, you're never mean. Just be mean already. It's fine. Bill says, yeah, I mean, let's do this. Let's show that we know what we're talking about. We have a very good Bigfoot photo front and center on the page right now. I mean, if we can show, there's no comparison whatsoever between the two.
Yeah, let's pose ourselves as the real experts. We could maybe talk about we're like squatching disbelief with our photo. Show
Okay.
them how good these should look.
Okay, well, if Josie was here, she would tell you, don't just tell me about it. Let's go do it. Come on, get going, people. You have jobs to do. You know what to do. Darcy, start taking a look at that photo. Find some stuff they can talk about. Cameron, go write some words. Sullivan, go come up with some clever hashtags. Lewis, don't stand so close to my niece. Go do something else.
Darcy immediately is like making notes and heading back over to the screen.
I am going to go get, we have coffee. I'm going to go get a whole bunch of, I'm going to get some coffee and maybe some boba tea. All right, I'm going to be back. And Bill walks into his office, gets his keys, walks out the back door.
Darcy's like in the corner by the thing making a list, sort of like she's pulled up the image and she's literally circling with red like lines every single bit that is wrong with this photo.
Yep. Okay, what's Cameron doing? Pardon me.
Cameron is doing a mix of putting the polishing touches on the Bigfoot story she wrote to go along with the picture so that that's ready to launch at the same time. And then I think she's also kind of jumping online to some of her Reddit friends and saying, hey, get ready to pounce on some stuff that me and my friends are about to post. You'll know what it is when you see it.
Okay, that sounds good. And let's talk about what Lewis is doing.
Lewis is probably just like sitting there like, well, I wasn't given anything to do. Probably goes on his Twitter feed and is just like scrolling through, like constantly like refreshing to see if anybody has said anything about this post or not. I'm just like, yep, making myself real useful right now.
Agatha gets up and does not put her phone down. She wouldn't do that. But she does say, I'm going to go look and see if there's any spells or anything for dealing with dragons. Lewis, do something. And she walks out. And what's Sullivan going to do?
Sullivan starts, he doesn't even like move from wherever he is. He just pulls out his phone. And he's starting to like work on hashtags and other things to like write tweets to link back to the article and stuff. And when Cameron's got everything written up, he'll give everything a read to see if it sparks any good like hashtags to link into and stuff like that.
Okay. So here's what we're going to do. This is an experimental rule thing that I have come up with in the last 5 seconds that we're going to try. We are going to see how we can like scale this up. What level can we reach with this? So somebody's going to need to make a roll, and that's going to determine like where we are level position wise. Everybody else gets to assist if you can name something you're doing. And pardon me, each assist will jump us up 1 more level. So who wants to lead this check of doing something, possibly using a skill of some kind? It's an intellect-based check, no matter what. Okay, I'm guessing Sarah's finger is on her nose for a reason, not just randomly, so probably not Sarah.
Fuck it, I'll go first.
Awesome. Okay, so Sullivan is point. We know that Cameron's writing. We know that Darcy is doing photo stuff. And what is Lewis doing to contribute to the effort? Yeah, I saw you.
He's probably, I don't know, he's probably just, honestly, he probably just wandered over to Darcy and is kind of just like helping her look at stuff. If she's okay with it, of course, he like asks first and just like, hey, this is kind of the only thing I know about. Do you mind if I like hop in and make sure?
No help. I'm up to like 12 obvious points right now, so
I think he'll also, kind of pick this out.
Okay, so Mal, you got 3 level bumps on your side, but you got to lead this check. And there's ninjas in my house, just running by. So we all know what that's like, right? So we've got to figure out how high we can scale this up.
Well, I don't know that I have any skills that work with what we're doing.
I do love the fact that we have an entire office of people who are in journalism and no journalism skills. It is wonderful.
Accurate.
I mean, I knew that going into this. That's
Yep,
why I was
yep.
like, what if I do this thing? Yeah.
We're good. It's fine. Everything's fine.
So, how do you
can
want
just make
me
an
to?
intellect roll?
Okay.
So
Should
the way
I
this is gonna go,
add
we're
these?
trying to roll. Go ahead.
Should I add these buffs as if I had spent effort?
We're just going to add them at the end because I don't think the system's going to like this.
Okay.
Yes. By the way, everybody has their pools back. Everybody should be at full from where we were last time. So what we're dealing with here is we're trying to roll high. If you spend effort or anything else like that, it's just going to go on top. We're just going to pile everything up into a big heap.
Okay. So we have 3. I definitely think he's going to spend some effort.
Mm-hmm.
In fact,
So
I think
one
he's gonna spend 3 levels of effort.
Because you are tier 3, so you
he
can do
tier
that.
3 now. Yep.
Yep. So we would be at what? 7 usually, and then you can subtract 1 from that. So you're spending 6 points.
Yep.
You got all this covered already. Good job. Okay, so we're coming into this at least level 6, possibly some sort of crazy top out at 10 level with Mal's roll here.
Okay. Let's a 9.
So you got the 3. You add the 3 for effort. You add the 3 if I had one more hand for all of your friends helping out. And we are at a total. Thank you, Alice. That was perfect. So we end up with a total of 9. And with all that, that's how difficult this story is going to be for somebody else to dismantle and pick apart. You've given them a threshold they've got to work against. So the combined horoscopes, it's a good effort. I mean, it was a bad photo to begin with, and you all have very solid reasons this is not going to be the winning entry. So it's good stuff. By about the time all this is done, Bill rolls through, and he has 2 trays, one of which looks like it's from like a latte and espresso place, and one of which is definitely boba teas where the tops are sealed with film, and there are no straws stabbed through them yet or anything like that. And he just like puts them down. He goes, okay, if you want caffeine, there's caffeine. And if you don't, there's this too. And they're all the same. It's all just lattes and boba.
I think Darcy sort of grabs a coffee or something and then moves out of her chair and sort of says to Lewis, keep going, I'll be back in a minute. And she's going to go try to find Agatha.
Okay, Agatha's upstairs in her room. The door is partially open. She's sitting on her bed and she has the big spellbook out in front of her.
She has that awkward knock, when you sort of knock really awkwardly and then poke your head around the door like, no.
She looks up at you. Yeah, come in.
Does that really awkward sort of walk in, slide in through the door, not open it fully, get a quick look around the room. It's like, hi, so that book.
Okay. First off, do you need me to describe the room at all, or do you feel like you have an idea of what we're looking at?
I think I've got an idea. Simply sort of an idea of what we're looking at.
Yeah, she's got a bed, purple bedspread. I'm describing it anyways now. Apparently, I'm just on a runaway train. So there's a desk. The desk has some little vials and so forth. And there's a few growing plants in her room. She's got a window. The window's got those white shutters over it. And she has a very tall wardrobe and a very full closet. And everything is black. Pretty much everything Agatha owns is black. She has at least 7 pairs of boots that you can see. So with that, she has this very large spellbook out in front of her. There are at least 6 identical volumes that you can see on a little shelf in the closet. Yeah, the book.
Yeah. Great room. And then she takes like an awkward sip from the coffee, realizes it's too hot, and is like, okay. Is there anyone else who would want Fled's spell book?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like a lot of people, or
I think it's a very small number of, I don't know if you can call them people, but you heard the thing that my mom said to everybody, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even know what page it's on. I've never found the spell she's talking about.
the wards around this place, they protect this, right?
Yeah, they should, but I mean, again, I don't know. I don't know how long everything's going to last or things like that. I did that thing I did to try to keep things and make them stronger, but I don't always know what I'm doing.
I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's great. One of the people after it is my brother. There's a client that apparently wants it. He wants me to, I'm going to be honest here, wants me to take it and give it to him. I'm not, before you fire me, freak out or anything like that. I'm just letting you know.
No, I get it. I trust you, Darcy. If you were here to steal the book, you probably would have stolen the book without telling me.
Yeah, no, I probably wouldn't have done that, yeah.
Yeah, also,
I would have tried to.
Yeah, maybe?
I'm not very good at subtlety.
Yeah, I don't know if we fought, what would happen. I don't know who's going to win that.
I don't want to fight.
I don't either.
There's that awkward silence where he just holds the coffee, slowly sips it again. I was just being clear,
Yeah, so what about the book? Did you want to see it or what?
I kind of wanted to check it was safe, but I'll see it if I'm allowed. Will I get it? Is it like in some, I mean, I don't really know what spell books look like.
I mean, they kind of look like this, and she points down, and it's written in, I mean, you speak Italian, you read Italian, right? So it looks like it's written in Italian.
Huh.
Yeah, my mom was Italian.
Oh. Snap. It's just like Darcy's all like, she's trying to read it, but at the same time she doesn't want to be too imposing with it.
Do you want to see if you can do magic, or do you just want to take a look?
Oh god, no, I don't want to do magic.
Okay.
I got enough problems with other stuff right now. I don't want to add anything to it, no offense. Like, I'm sure it's great. I'm sure it's wonderful, sparkly, shiny, glowy, fantastic, great, but I don't want to accidentally set something on fire or,
Yeah, you could do that. I mean, that could be a thing. What do you need, Darcy? What's bringing this all up?
Is there anything that can help us with?
I'm trying, but it's a lot. There's a lot of these books, and I have to go through each one by hand. I can't just, it doesn't make sense if I just look at a list. There's too much here, and I have to look really hard to find anything anytime I want it.
Can I help?
I don't think you're the right person to help. I mean, you could try, but I don't think you understand it.
Oh, this is true. I don't, yeah. And again, she just sort of nods and probably wouldn't. I'm gonna go and do my photo stuff again, the thing I'm good at.
Thanks for not giving your brother the book.
Oh, it's okay. Even if I liked him, I wouldn't have given it to him.
A lot of people would have.
She looks mildly confused by that, is it? Yes.
I mean, he would have given you something you wanted, right?
Oh, anything he gives does not come without a taint or some kind, even if it does.
I don't think everybody gets that.
Yeah, I suppose. I'm kind of trying to do everything on my own now, so I don't really want anything from anyone.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's just that sort of awkward look around the room one more time. Yeah, I'm gonna go. And she's gonna back out the room and sort of slowly pause by the door as if she's gonna say something, and then just close it and walk away.
Sounds good. Okay, so this is going to take a little while. So does anybody have a scene or a thing they want to get done while everybody's working hard at this? Okay, I guess we just keep working. Busy bees. So the piece is done. Bill takes a look at it. He says, okay, can we just put this out? Sullivan, Cameron, are we ready? Can we just can we push it?
Yeah, totally.
Okay, yeah, push send. Let's do this. What, Lewis, what? Did
Lewis,
you do something wrong?
Push it, send the button, push it.
Yeah, Lewis,
Send it
do you
out.
think this is good? No,
Lewis,
it's okay.
push the button.
No, it's fine.
Lewis, push the
No,
button.
I'm not going to. Not going
Sullivan
to.
takes his hand and pushes the button.
Lewis, are you okay?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was muted that whole time, wasn't I?
It's
Got
okay.
the thing.
When you started talking, Bill's eyes glaze over. He's like, It was probably very appropriate.
And go back to doing what I was doing before.
It's good. You're getting to a really high score in Candy Crush. You're on level 5 now. It's going really well.
I was looking at the picture. I was helping. Darcy asked me to fix the picture.
Okay. Sounds good. So the picture stuff, yeah, you guys have a lot of information. Everything in the article is getting pushed out. It's going good. I'll stop picking on Lewis so much. So let's do a music change just so we don't get stuck in our prelude forever. Okay, so we've dealt with the article going out. It's a little bit of a waiting game. And Bill is pacing around the bullpen right now. He's really nervous. He says, I should not have drank 2 coffees. This was not a good idea right now. You guys want to take a walk, move around, do something? Noodles. You guys want to get some? We already had lunch. We don't need 2. That's silly. No one wants noodles twice. Okay. You guys want to what are we gonna do?
As soon as everything was pushed out, I think Sullivan was like, I'll be back in a little bit. And
It's a good plan. Yep. Good idea. Cameron, any thoughts?
And she, the moment the tweet was pushed out, she, and the other information went out, she's been typing up a storm. She has Discord up in multiple windows. So she is typing and talking in different threads. And she's just linking this thing to everyone. And so her goal is to get this tweet to blow up as fast as possible and to push this out. So she's kind of yeah, what? Yeah, sure. Okay, that's good, Bill.
Let's have Cameron make a roll. We're going to do an intellect-based roll on the power of friendship. Your big problem you have right now is it's the 4th of July. And you are fighting against every viral post of a beach party or a person in a bikini or any number of other things. So I'm trying to see if you have any skills.
Probably dogs wearing sunglasses and flag bandanas.
Yes, also food crimes that are 4th of July related. Somebody putting ketchup and mayonnaise onto a hot dog and maybe something blue to make an American flag.
Nope.
Yeah, just bad stuff.
That's bad.
Okay, at least some of us have some standards, so that's good. So with all that.
Oh man, this is coming from someone who once made a hot dog pizza. But anyways, I don't think Cameron has any I don't think she has any applicable skills. I think she's just gonna put a lot of elbow grease into it and pop a bunch of levels of effort.
That sounds good.
So this is important to her. So I'm gonna do 3 levels of effort on this intellect roll.
That is crazy. Good for you.
Okay. Difficulty.
Let's see. I think we're going to do the same thing we did last time. Let's count up rather than going difficulty down. So you're already at level 3, and then let's see what the roll gets you.
So should I just put in difficulty 0 for the sake of the roll?
Put in difficulty 0. That makes sense.
Perfect. Roll them.
Okay, so you got a level 6. That's really good. So you are going viral. You're getting this thing out there. You're watching the counts go up. You're watching your friends' counts go up. You're watching it get retweeted. Everything's going really, really well. Scrat has a food crime for everybody to see in the chat. It's not that bad. It's kind of bad. It's just fish sauce. Oh, I guess that could be blue. Okay, I get where you're going with that, Scrat. That's a good idea. Okay. So you were saying?
No, so I think, yes, she pushes this information out to as many people as she possibly can, and is probably even scraping into some communities she's not super active in, but is saying like, hey, do you have a spare moment to basically help out just a little bit on this thing that matters to me?
Okay. Well, the good news about it being 4th of July is there's also a lot of people who technically are not busy. So they may be doing other tweeting and so forth, but you're getting good traction and things are moving up, and it's a good day for getting this rolling. Yeah, after about 15, 20 minutes, you get a text message, and it's from your roommate.
Jessica.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What's it say?
It's a picture of Jessica's front door kicked in. And it
Also
says,
my
I
front
have
door.
her. Yeah, your front door. I mean, technically, you kind of sublease. But anyways, front door kicked in, and it says, I have her.
Is there any indication of who, or it's just that this person clearly has Jessica's cell phone?
Kicked in may not be the right word because the door is kind of scratched up.
And I think Cameron immediately goes, Marty, Manny, Manny? And she's kind of like saying that at the phone / Sarah is trying to remember.
Manny is correct. You got that.
Shit, because it's the only person she can think of, because she knows Manny is that silver werewolf, and it's the only person she can think of who would have scratched and clawed up a door. And she texts back, kind of without thinking, what are you doing? What do I have to do to get her back?
And you have to wait like a good solid minute before you get a response. And it just says, don't put your phone down.
And I think Cameron takes a breath and doesn't let it out.
That's fair. So with that, Lewis, have you got any scenes that we need to throw in here before we star swipe away to Sullivan? Star swipe. Okay. So Sullivan, where did you go?
He's going to the antique store, but he's totally on his phone the whole time because we just sent that shit out, and he's still trying to, add to the engagement.
Mm-hmm. And you see that Cameron's got stuff just popping off, and all of the tweets are going crazy. It's super good. Lewis, are you also contributing to the viral coefficient of this hashtag? I'm going to assume Lewis said yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
That's good. Yeah, we're good. So with that, all that stuff's going on, and then Sullivan is walking down the street to the antique store, which is open because the 4th of July is a great day for antiquing, apparently.
Seems legit. I mean, everyone's got the day off.
So yeah, there's 5 or 6 people in the store. There's a couple guys. One of them's wearing like a straw hat, and they're wearing like big open, like almost like Hawaiian style short sleeve t-shirts. An older lady walking through. There's a mom with her kid, and Amy is behind the counter. And when she sees you, her eyes go like wide, and then one of them is twitching just a little bit. You can tell despite the fact that she's wearing glasses, and she seems very nervous to see you.
He will give a little wave and just try and wait for things to calm down a little.
She's getting called away a lot with things like, how much is this? Where's this coming from? And the lady asking like, are you sure this is real? Is this really the right price? Maybe can we and they're trying to get better deals on things like that. What if I got this chair and this ottoman and things like that?
Yeah, as me, the player's like, I've watched a lot of American Pickers. People are like, what if I buy these things? And then you can give me a deal on the... Yep, I get it.
It is taking place. Amy seems like a very good haggler. She doesn't seem to be letting deals go, but everybody seems to be pretty happy with how things are going. And there is no sign of she's really, obviously, and very well not paying attention to you.
Okay. I think after like 15 minutes, he just, even if she's not looking, he gives a little wave and leaves, and he'll send a text because he had her number from Bill earlier. So he just sends a text of, sorry, just wanted to talk, but you're busy. Just give me a text.
And you get no response to that.
That's the benefit of the text, is when she's not busy, she can choose to answer.
Cool. So with that, what are you going to do next?
I think he's going to go to the park.
Okay, so you walk down the street to the park. It's looking nice. It's very busy. Lots of people, lots of kids. You hear a pop from somebody letting off a firework way too soon. And also, I don't think you're allowed to have fireworks in the city of San Francisco. I didn't actually look that up.
I would assume most cities are like that.
Yeah, something to check out, something to look up when I have time. Can you let off fireworks in San Francisco? Okay, I probably should have done, are fireworks illegal in San Francisco? But yep, fireworks are illegal in San Francisco. So you're in the park.
Yeah, I think he's just gonna, probably all the benches are full of people, and he walks through the park and just, if he finds a tree that's sort of empty of people, he'll just sit down with his back against the tree.
Okay, you are sitting down with your back against a tree. Are you wearing shoes?
No.
Okay, so you're doing good. You're kind of engaged. You are with the earth. Where is Sullivan's mind going as he starts to recall something from the past?
He starts to think about the fact that Amy and him both had the dream of the house, and he lets his mind wander, and before he knows it, he's standing in front of a large, dark, ziggurat type building, and the woman from the dream is there holding his hand, and there's this sense that whatever happened was good, but it cost them a lot.
Yeah. So how does Sullivan feel? Does he feel tired? Does he feel like spent? Does he feel like there's something missing?
Yeah, he definitely feels like something's missing. And being connected to nature as Sullivan is, he realizes that whatever he's thinking of, or maybe remembering is the best way to put it, is that his magic's gone.
Mm-hmm. So what does Sullivan do, having this recollection or this idea that his magic has left him?
Honestly, I think that might shock him out of whatever this is, because it's not a feeling he's used to.
Because Sullivan's been magic pretty much his entire life, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is both very disconnecting, odd feeling, but also it's very old. This is a memory that's so far back in the mind that it just doesn't fit anything else. So what does Sullivan do now?
I think he makes as if to go back to the antique store, and at the point where, like, I don't know the geography completely, but essentially at the point where he'd have to continue to the antique store or decide to go to Horoscoops, he ends up going back to the office instead.
There's a moment there where you can feel there's definitely an energy in place in the city right now where things feel right and they feel wrong. And it's like you're following this string that's somewhere by your belly button. And it's like pulling you along. And as you turn and you go away, you can feel it's almost like it's pulling out of your body. Like it's just slowly spooling. And you feel like you're not where you should be as that distance increases.
I think at that point he'd turn around and retrace his steps. And he's not really scientific, but I think he'd make to go back to the park and see like how he feels.
Yeah, you find that spot. It's that area where you knew you had a choice and you turned away. And right there, it doesn't hurt the same way. It doesn't feel that sense of longing the same way. You're not as far from where you should be.
He'll follow that feeling then, now that he's like tested it a little.
Okay, and you know where it's taking you. It's taking you right back to Second Life. And you see Amy there behind the counter. And her grandmother, who I think is named Daisy, I gotta admit I didn't write it down where I can see it right away, is looking at her, and she points at her, looks over her shoulder so she can see you, and there's a moment she's looking at you. And she looks at her grandmother again and walks quickly into the back of the shop. And you feel it's like that thread is spooling out just a little bit more. You're getting yanked along a little bit further as she runs away from you.
He'll enter and try and follow. He probably won't. He's not sure what's going on, but he won't even stop for Daisy because every time he tries to talk to her, it's super awkward.
You hear the back door slam right when you get there, and Daisy says, "It's you again."
Yeah. What kind of back door is it? Is it the kind where it's like that got the push bar and locks from the outside, or?
No, it's not an exterior door. This is
it's the door to the back of. Okay.
You know what this back room looks like. You've been back there.
Yeah.
And it's just a little. It's not even a solid frame door. It's a hollow core door.
I think he'll turn around because he already barged in on Lewis, and that didn't go well for him. So he's certainly not going to barge in on Amy. So he turns around and he's just like, I was hoping to talk to Amy. Is she okay?
What?
Can I talk to Amy? Is she okay?
I don't think she's okay.
Can I talk to her? Can you let me in to talk to her?
She ran away.
Yeah. Sorry to bother you.
How do you like your sword? Sullivan is currently wearing the sword, is he not?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think he's gone anywhere without it since we're getting it. He's more than like I kind of think he's more likely to have the sword in pockets than his wallet, or definitely shoes. I think he starts walking away when Daisy says that, and he just kind of like hefts it a little, and he's like, "It's a good sword."
What? You can't turn your back on an old lady. She can't hear you.
He's
Sorry,
just
Alex.
like, "Yep." That awkward wave as you walk away.
Okay.
And then he'll go back to the office because he's not sure what else to do.
Okay. Lewis, you have a text message.
What does it say? Who's it
It's
from?
Agatha. It's from Agatha. It says, "Come up here."
I'm gonna text her back and be like, "See, you don't hate me," and then I'm gonna go upstairs.
And it just says you, and you've gone upstairs.
Knock on the door.
Come in here
It's
already.
me.
Don't make a big deal. Just get in here.
You know I have to make a big deal because you don't hate me.
Okay. So Lewis, you know what this room looks like. You've been here fairly recently. There's a book on the bed. In the center of this book, there's a diagram that you know very well because you've seen witches with this diagram before. And there's a picture of a candle on it. I think I know how to find the witches.
I'm gonna take a step back and be like, yes, and how is that?
She puts her finger on the picture of the candle.
Yes.
We're doing this.
Are you sure?
Go get your crazy magic friends and let's do this.
Okay, wait, okay, I'll get them. I'm scared.
Lewis? Yeah, you should
What?
be. I think it's going to hurt a lot.
You're not very comforting. Okay. I'm gonna add her back to the group chat. I'm just gonna stand right there and do this and be like, add her back to the group chat, and then say, text everybody and say, Agatha wants you all to come upstairs. And yes, is typed out. Yeah, she says it's going to be painful. And then is there a candle emoji or is it just fire?
I don't know. Let's pretend there's a candle emoji.
Yeah, and a little candle emoji. And then a heartbroken emoji. And then the emoji.
Yep. That was a good face for that too.
Thank you. I make it all the
Yes.
time.
Well
This is
done,
why it's
well
my it's
Your
my
spirit emoji.
yeah, it really is.
Okay, so that happens. Cameron, you've gotten this text message. What are you going to do?
So I think Cameron is standing there and she's still kind of dumbfounded as to what to do when she sees the message from Lewis, she'll start to slowly shuffle upstairs, but her eyes are fixed on the phone. She immediately flips back to this conversation with whoever took Jessica, and she's pretty sure it's Manny.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you're doing two things as you kind of sidewalk up the stairs. That's good. How about Darcy?
I think Darcy was outside briefly, just getting a breath of fresh air, not going anywhere in particular, just stood outside the door. and I think if she saw it maybe a week ago, she would have thought, okay, this is a bit weird, but she's kind of gone, okay. Just starts like walking upstairs, probably crossing Cameron on the way, just showing the message and going.
So speaking of painful, Sullivan, you're on your walk back, and you get this text.
I think he, very similar to Darcy, is just like, okay, and then quickens his pace a little bit.
Okay. And by the time you guys all get upstairs, Sparky is also there. Sparky just kind of shows up sometimes, it seems like, and this is one of those. So she's sitting on the end of Agatha's bed, like where her pillows are, and Agatha's just like waving people into a room. It has like a nice floral scent, but there are also a lot of you in this room. This is a small room. Okay.
Darcy like squeezes herself in somewhere.
Eventually we get Sullivan in here too, and that's where Agatha has kept you all in suspense until Sullivan shows up, by the way, because that's, you know, she likes drama. So now that you're all actually in the room, she says, okay, so Lewis has this weird candle, and I think I can use it to find the witches. And it's probably going to hurt him a lot.
Can we make it hurt him less?
Is there another way?
And what exactly will we be doing? And Cameron is saying this, and she's still like looking at her phone and.
Also, do we want to find the witches? Just a thought, you know.
I don't know. Do we want to find the witches? I thought we were trying to figure this whole thing out. I mean, I don't really want to wait around and find out what they're going to do next. Do you?
No, but I don't really. And she's sort of looking over at Lewis, like, Lewis, how do you feel about this?
Yeah, don't feel great, but at the same time, I've also been trying to get rid of this for like 15 years now.
Do you
and
get rid of it?
I don't know, but I think anything is better than nothing, and if we can figure it out, I think it's the step in that direction. So
okay, I didn't talk about this earlier, Darcy. You asked me about the book, and you looked at it. You know the words don't all make sense, right? They're just words.
Yeah.
I can't usually find what I want until I need it, and then I can find a spell. But it only happens when I need it to happen, not when I want it to happen. I can't just look in the book and find what I want. And now, this is the spell I have.
So it's like a sign?
I don't know. My mom was really good at telling the future. I don't know if this is some sort of weird magic trick, but I only get the spells I need, not the spells I want.
And Darcy sort of gives like a huge sigh, like she just flumps a little bit. She's like, if Lewis is okay with it, I can't believe we're about to summon something. So what do we do? Get chalk and draw a sign? I don't know how we do it with witches. It's different with, you know, us.
Okay, so some things to talk about. They're not really people anymore. They're pretty much ghosts that are stuck in the world because they have some sort of like agreement with a demon that backfired. I think my mom said all this before. So they're not really people. And we don't want to do it here, or we don't want them to be here, because if they were here, they would take the books and they would win. So what we need to do is, besides get some milk, we need to use this spell to find them and go there and do something about them.
I mean, I'm tired of being targeted from who knows where and getting struck by lightning how many times on top of all the other bullshit they've thrown at us.
I mean, they seem to know where we are. It'd be quite nice to know where they are.
She's pointing down at the book. She says, look, this note says there were 3 witches. And did I hear right that, Lewis, you think you got rid of one?
mean, I kind of, yeah. I don't know if I actually got rid of her, but kind of.
I don't either, but I think this is going to tell us. But if there were 3, there's only 2 left. And I think that's a big change for them. I don't think they're going to be nearly as powerful with that. And also, I think Lewis is the reason they always know where we are. Or at least one reason.
I think when she says that, you just see Lewis's face drop. Like, he's just like, oh, shit.
I mean, technically, they always know where I am too, right? Because if I'm here at the house, they know where the house is all the time. It's not... I think it's just the candle. I think the candle is a link.
Okay, well then, let's where do you suggest we go? Where did you say you wanted to go?
I don't know because I don't know where the witches are. I'm going to cast a spell and it's going to make the candle burn up and it's going to lead you to them.
Okay, what if I burn up? Oh, I guess that doesn't matter. I've burned up many times.
I mean, you're still really cursed, so I think you're going to be like you normally are. I think the hard part is the spell's only going to last as long as the candle lasts.
That means we don't have much time. Okay. You're not going to cast it from in here, though, are you?
Where do you think I should cast it?
I don't know, but I feel like in here opens us up for trouble. I don't know if other people agree, but I just...
We could try it somewhere else. Just if we try it somewhere else, are they going to show up as soon as the spell gets cast? Because I don't know anywhere else that has any sort of magical wards. I don't think I can do this somewhere else.
Okay, no, that's fair.
The wards, that is. I don't think I can build these again.
Yeah, right. That's fair. That's fair. Okay, yeah, let's do it. Let's just get this over with.
And I think Cameron's had her nose in her phone the whole time, and then she finally kind of like looks up at the group and is like, "Wait, how long is this gonna take? Like, are we going into the dream place again? Because if so, I don't think I can go right now."
I don't think you have to go. I think this is going to be in the world, and I think they have to be nearby because they keep finding you all.
Okay. I'm sorry. I just I got a really awful message just a bit ago. My roommate, Jessica, I think she's been kidnapped by her cousin. All I know right now is this, and Cameron will like scroll to the picture of the scratched up doorway and show it to the group, and then like scroll to the message that says "stay on your phone," and then say, I can help. I need to stay on this.
I mean, if you need to do that now, I think the spell's going to hold. I guess we don't have to do my thing now. I mean there's a lot going on.
And we could do that. There's nothing for me to do right now. As long as I can keep looking at my phone, I can help. Let's do it.
So I guess we're ready for anything? Literally?
I mean, if we do my thing, we have to be ready for 2 witches who have magic and are willing to kill everyone in this room to get these books.
Great.
But, I mean, maybe the spell's going to hold. Maybe I can keep this page open and it'll be here tomorrow. Maybe we should take care of Cameron's thing.
What if they're connected?
I mean, it seems kind of likely, right? I mean...
It's too much of a coincidence. I don't believe in coincidences, not anymore.
The first time Sullivan got hit by lightning was when he was chasing that werewolf. I mean, I feel like it's got to be a team up.
And I don't know who my brother's client is.
The night a few nights ago, I told you, all right, I went home and I saw Jessica, and she's a werewolf, and her brother was there, or not her brother, but her cousin was there, and they were fighting over something, and he started to say that he was working for someone, and just as he was about to say a name, Jessica, she cut him off. She wouldn't let him say it. Maybe you're right. Maybe, I mean, I knew they were working for someone, but maybe they're working for the same something.
I mean, if we're all working together, there's no reason they can't work together.
Yeah. No, let's do the witch thing. I haven't gotten another message, so screw it.
You should turn your volume all the way up so that, like, in case like you don't hear it, there's 4 other people here that might.
Because Cameron's a millennial, she's never turned the volume on her phone ever in her life. And so she puts her phone over to Lewis and was like, yeah, sure. How does how?
He just starts like hitting the side button that turns the volume, or whatever kind of phone it is, and how you do that.
Like, and this turns on the ringer? Huh.
Yeah, you see how it says there's a little bell here? That means that it's going to ring. Like, like a bell rings, like that's what, and then you see this bar? It's kind of like your headphones, but it's like the speaker.
Huh. I always thought like ringtones were super rude.
Yep. Lewis is going to change your ringtone to the DuckTales theme song now because you said that.
Oh, it 100% already is. He because the phone's turned away from her, so he does it. Then he puts on and he's like, oh, I got it for you now.
Oh my God, she's gonna get some atrocious message from a kidnapper, but it's gonna be the DuckTales theme song.
Everyone, please envision this on your own, since we can't play the DuckTales theme song here over the stream, so it's very good. That's what we need.
All the callbacks.
Yep. Okay, we're doing this.
Sullivan nods, and there's a moment where he's just like, I wish Josie were here.
We all wish Josie was here.
I kind of feel lost without Team Mum.
Yeah, she'd be able to hack something crazy, and I'd know where Jessica was right now.
Or hold my hand.
I mean, Lewis, there's 5 other people in this room. Someone can hold your hand.
It's not
Darcy
the same.
is literally not looking and just holding her hand out, looking straight forward.
I'm 100% gonna take her hand and squeeze it.
It's out of that, oh my God, we're gonna die kind of feel.
Lewis, give me your candle.
Oh, I have to let go of your hand now, Darcy. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, sorry, yeah.
No, it's okay. I'm saying sorry to myself. And she gives the candle to, while keeping the fanny pack on. Very important.
Sure. So as we give the candle over to Agatha, Lewis starts to have his hand glow green as he lights on fire. It's not so bad, just kind of gentle, little propane flames licking up his arm. So yeah, that's going on. And she puts the candle right on the bedspread, right in front of the book. Says, okay, here we go. And she starts reading in the spell book. And it's maybe it looks like it's Italian. It does not sound like words. It sounds like a weird, crazy, mumbled things that come from some other space and time. And when it's done, the candle was already glowing very, very strongly, like it has a strong burn. And then suddenly it goes, and it starts burning like a purplish color. And then the flame starts lilting to the side like this. I think that's it.
That can't be it.
What do you mean?
Because I don't hurt. Am I still on fire?
Oh, I was totally joking about that. You gotta get out of here.
Where am I going?
I don't know. Follow the candle.
She says it's almost just like, we have a dowsing rod. We're gonna follow it.
Oh, did the candle start? Did I miss that? Did Sam not hear that?
Flame
The
is
flame of
pointing
the
in a
candle.
direction.
Yeah.
I get that. I think that's more of a Sam thing than a Lewis thing. It was just like, I did not. Oh, okay. I guess I'll start. I'll go down. I'll take the candle back first, and then I'll go downstairs, and I'll start. And then I'll reach my hand out for Darcy's hand.
Okay, he takes it and goes downstairs.
So the good news is you're not on fire anymore.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I would have waited to make sure it wasn't on fire.
So there's all that. Okay, so you have a candle, and it's pointing somewhere.
I mean, I'm going to follow the direction, right? We should follow the
Yep.
direction.
Yeah.
Is anybody else coming along?
Like Darcy holds up like the hands. Yeah, it's like, well, I am.
I'm assuming Cameron and Sullivan would have followed after the two of them.
Yeah, Darcy grabs either Sullivan or Cameron, like the closest to her, like by like the scruff on the way out as she's being led down the stairs by Lewis.
I want to say that's Sullivan just because it's funny, because Sullivan's
It's
so
just
much
the-
taller. Yep.
We're going.
So you're all downstairs by this point, and yeah, the candle's pointing out the door and across, and it looks like it's going out into the distance, like maybe the bay, maybe the financial district. It's going in that general direction.
Okay, I'll follow it.
Okay. So you hear a thump, and Agatha comes down the stairs, clomping along in big, heavy boots, and says, "Okay, let's go."
Oh, are you coming too?
I mean, I was going to come along. Do you not want me to come along?
No, of course I want you to come along because you don't hate me. Do you want to hold my hand?
No, your hands are full. You've got a candle and a Darcy. It's fine.
I mean, I can
Okay.
let go. Like Darcy's holding up the hand, like if it makes you feel better.
I'm fine. Let's go.
Okay.
Like Darcy sort of leans forward to her. It's like, I'm gonna let go of your hand. You should hold on to Agatha's.
Oh, okay. Okay. Can I-
So
Darcy tries to forget she's still like holding on to Sullivan, hasn't let go of Sullivan, and just lets go.
and you all are basically right at the front door, like creating a very good traffic wedge in front of, like trying to go outside of Horoscoops. So who's got their hand on the door handle? Who's going to turn that doorknob?
I have to empty my hand now. I got the door handle and I sort of
Yep.
open the door and open it. for
You open
everyone.
the door, and when you open the door, go ahead and make the D2 roll, Alice. Do you want evens or odds?
Oh no. Well,
was
I'm
really
very
hoping
good
it was
at
gonna be-
rolling nat ones, so I think I'm gonna go for a 1. There we are.
Perfect. There's a moment where you grab the door, and you hear this squeal, like the door almost got ripped off of its hinges, but didn't. And right there is a person who was about to knock on the door, and they like, oh man, and they are adjusting their AirPods, which are fine, but just like, ooh.
Oh hi.
And Miles Shaw, the lawyer who helped everybody get their site bailed out, is right outside and goes, oh hey, is Bill here?
Darcy's now looking at the fact she's holding onto the door. She's holding onto Sullivan, who's probably holding onto someone else, and it's like, Bill, just goes back into the office.
Bill is standing in the kitchen eating a very large slice of Hawaiian pizza. He goes, and starts walking up. He goes, okay, thanks. And he walks past you all, kind of like side shuffling in the door.
Darcy waits until she knows it's okay to go. And then realizes she's holding onto Sullivan. It's like,
Agatha says, come on, go.
Okay. She sort of shuffles out.
Okay. You all are walking down the hill. So you've got to take that a long, slow slope all the way down as you start getting closer and closer to the financial district. By the time you get down the hill, it's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It's the middle of July, well, beginning of July. It's hot. For San Francisco, it's hot. So it's like 74 degrees. So there's sun and a lot of bay trade winds, and it's fine. Everything's going to be fine. Everyone's wearing shorts. They're wearing sun hats, stuff like that. There's a couple out-of-towners who are wearing like 2 shirts or like a big pullover sweatshirt, but everybody else is fine. So, oh yes, in British temperatures in Celsius, that's probably not that. Yeah, right. It's nothing.
That's
it's probably
English
a little.
Summer.
There's a lot in common between the two. It's true. So with that, you're all heading down the hill. It's getting later and later in the day, and your candle is pointing somewhere in the financial district.
Okay. Obeying all traffic signals. I will keep following. I will grab Agatha's hand, though, this time.
Okay.
And I'll definitely make it weird.
Yeah. Agatha apparently is a blusher. You all have found that out now. So that's new. It's kind of blotchy, but she's just really upset looking about the whole thing. And there is no roll to make it weird. Lewis automatically succeeds in making it weird. So with that, you all start heading into the financial district, going a little further, and you're out in front of a very large building. It looks like an office tower. It's the Salesforce Tower, in fact. And there's a sign out in front, like the marquee sign, but this is one of those digital ones, so you can scroll up and down. It's the 4th of July, so of course the office is closed.
Do I recognize, having lived in this, do I recognize this built? Do I know anybody that works in this building?
Oh, your dad 100% works in this building. Yes.
That's what I thought. Okay. I'm gonna go up. Are the lights turned off in it?
Yeah, this place is dead. There are security guards even on the 4th of July because it's that kind of building, but there's nobody who's going in here. The doors are locked. They've got them closed, everything like that. And you can see 3 people up at the front, the lobby desk. That's what I'm looking for.
Okay, but you said the front door is locked, right?
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna let go of Agatha's hand and be like, hey, guys, this is my dad's building. Just wait here. Let me see if I can get us in. And I'm going to go up and I'm going to knock on the door and see if any of them recognize me.
You go up and you knock on the door, and one of these guards is definitely, this is his retirement plan, is to be a guard. He's going to be here and be the guard forever. So there's definitely a guard that you've seen here a million times, possibly more than that. Yeah. And the reason you remember this guard is because his name is Louis, Louis, and it's been a thing forever.
So I'm just gonna wave him down and be like,
yeah, so Louis is an older guy. He's he's got a Latin skin tone. He's deeper tan. He's got salt and pepper hair, and it's cut back, it comes back. He has good hair for an older guy, but he's also kind of big around the middle. He's been sitting at this desk for a long time, so he does kind of a my knees hurt walk up to the door, and he sees you. He looks at you for a second, and then he unlocks the door and says something to somebody else. They scowl at him, He looks back at you. He walks out of the room or out of the lobby and says, "Lewis, what are you doing down here? Happy 4th."
Hey, happy 4th, Lewis. I was just my dad's not. Is my dad around in here at all?
I mean, he's a workaholic, but he's not even here today.
Shoot, I needed to grab something from his office. Do you think that? Do you think I'd be able to come in?
If it was a normal work day, I'd let you in. It would be no problem. But that guy over there, that like 21-year-old, he is my supervisor now. I mean,
Do I
he's really like
recognize-
20. No, but
Sorry.
he's looking at you and he looks mean and he's got a buzz cut and an earpiece. I mean, he's technically like 27, but I mean, kid looks younger than you.
Tell me about
I
that.
think he's like an ex-Blackwater operative or something crazy like that. And I'm not allowed to let anybody in for anything now.
I understand. Don't want us Lewises. We got to stick together. Lewis,
times have changed. It's not
I
like the
know.
old days. Now they got new people in here and it's like, now it's really serious.
Yeah, tell me about it. Gosh, Dad came so stuck up after, but okay, that's no problem. Thanks for coming out. I don't want to get you in any more trouble. We'll talk later, though.
Yeah, that new office he's got though. Have you seen that yet? Because I hear it's really nice.
No, I mean, I haven't seen it, but maybe I'll come back tomorrow and I'll try to see it then.
Okay, yeah, that's a good plan. I mean, tomorrow should be, it's like Thursday. It's gonna be a normal day.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No problem. And then I go and I give him that the buddy hug,
You get the
like,
one-arm hug back. Yep. He's got, he's got a kind of a belly to him. So you're like mostly just like leaning against him kind of hard.
yeah. I'm like, I'll see you later. I'll see you later, Lewis.
Okay. Take it easy, Lewis. Happy 4th.
Yeah. You too. Don't work too hard.
Yeah. So as this has been going on, the rest of you have been over by this digital marquee sign. And this sign is fun because it's also an advertisement to make it really great for all the people who do business here. So every once in a while it cycles through and you see an advertisement for one of the various groups that is doing business here in the Salesforce Tower. Salesforce, by the way, huge organization. If you guys aren't familiar with them, please don't Google them because you'll probably get emails forever and things like that. But this is a large marketing company that sells software for marketing. And then it scrolls through, and apparently one of the very large companies that's found near the higher floors of this building is Volpe, Ragno, and Moretti, the law firm. That's all I have for you guys. But Lewis is back.
Did anyone else see that on the sign?
See what?
I might be wrong because I don't think it's come up a lot, but there was a law firm, and I'm pretty sure one of the names on there is the same as Darcy's.
Yeah. Darcy sort of looked at it. Oh, that can't be good.
Oh, is this where Marco works then, right?
She just slowly nods. Her eyes are still in the direction where the sign was.
Yeah, and the candle's like flickering upwards towards the top of the building like this.
And she sort of like rubs her rubs her eyes, is like, oh, he is not going to be happy to see me. Okay, let's just go.
Agatha points up at the top of the lobby where there's one of those big security camera domes, and she says, look, let's just leave. I mean, I wanted to get this done, but I don't think this isn't gonna go well. We're not getting in there.
Nothing's gonna go well, Agatha.
I don't know anything that gets us past this door right now while we're on camera that doesn't end up with a lot of questions.
is there like a service entrance or like a service elevator we could take? Or, I don't know, we could comically fit ourselves in some garbage bins?
Should we all go take a walk around?
Yeah.
I would know if there was a service entrance, wouldn't I?
It's a huge building. I mean,
Okay.
they have a full floor of cafeteria and so forth. There is definitely a service entrance.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where you drive down into the basement, which is also a parking garage. So yeah, you can gain basement access.
Yeah, there's a service entrance. We can gain basement access. This is like one of those big buildings that has its own floor for like a cafeteria and stuff, and you like drive down. That was what I got from what Han said. Yeah.
So as Lewis says this, he's walking you around the corner to where trucks can drive down into the basement of this building. And there is a big, like, you know, one of those screen gates that's come down.
I would like to see if there's a camera down here, because I bet you there is.
You see at least two.
I don't know, Darcy, Lewis, you both, I mean, I guess you're not on great terms with them, but is there any way to like call someone you know who works here to get them to buzz us up, even though it's a weird day?
The way my brother is going to let us into this building is if I have the book.
Yeah.
Agatha says, I'm definitely not feeling like this is a good idea. I mean, how do we get in there that doesn't end up with us all going to jail?
If you need, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I mean, if we need to, I can swallow my pride and call my dad. I don't know if it'll work, but I can do it. But I'm also inclined to side with Agatha on whatever she says.
I thought this was a really good idea, but I mean, they're not worried at all if they're just hiding in the middle of this. This is one of the biggest buildings in San Francisco. I mean, what are we going to do about that?
Yeah, I definitely think this, to get in here without trouble, I think we need Josie to solve this problem.
Yeah.
Like, I can get us in. Don't get me wrong. But it's just going to be chaos as soon as I do.
I mean, we're in the 4th of July in the middle of downtown San Francisco. I don't think we want the police showing up now.
I agree.
I'm sorry. I thought this was going to be a better idea.
It was a great idea. Lewis, tell her it was a great idea.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, it was any kind of takes her, like puts his hands around her, not like rough or anything, but just kind of grabs her and is like, hey, this was a great idea. I mean, we now know where they are, or at least kind of where they are. Like, we know we have more information now, and that's great. We can go back to somewhere safe, as in Horoscoops, and we can formulate a plan. This was really good. I know I'm feeling less helpless now. I don't know about everybody else. And he kind of like looks at everybody and is like,
Sullivan's standing there. They're like,
they're really bad actors, but I do feel less helpless. And then he goes and he like gives her
the
hugs.
Worst ever. Yeah, and she's like this. She's like, look, you guys are really the worst ever. And also, I'm okay with being wrong. I don't need you to make me feel better. This just isn't going to work. I mean, I'd rather say this isn't going to work and have it just be my fault than have you all get killed trying to break into some building.
that's a false dichotomy, first of all. But secondly, I
Let's
wasn't
walk
saying
and
this.
talk. Let's walk and talk.
Yeah,
and
no,
he
no,
gets
yeah,
everyone.
we'll
He
walk.
gets everyone moving. Let's
This-
not stand here on camera, fucking talking for 20 minutes.
Oh yeah, and
It's a
then
wave, everyone.
as you're starting to walk away from the building, she says, "Lewis, give me the candle again."
Okay.
And she takes a candle, that little tiny nub of a candle, and goes. And when she blows on it, the purple goes out, and it's just bright orange again. I don't know if it's going to help, but we don't need it now.
Okay, let's go back.
Awkward uphill march.
And as they go up the hill, Cameron is once again like, I think she was enjoying this distraction. And now she's nosed back in her phone and she's like debating whether or not she texts back, but is still waiting.
Yep, and you've got nothing. Your tweets are going really well, though. Yeah, numbers are climbing. People seem to be enjoying the engagement with the thing.
For some reason, she doesn't seem so interested in that.
Yeah. Things going on. So you guys get about halfway up the hill, because it's a lot harder going up than coming down. And Sullivan, you got a text.
He'll look at his phone.
And it just says, "We can talk." And it's from Amy.
I think he'll reply, "Where do you want to meet?"
And she just says, "I'm still at the shop." But it is getting pretty close to, it's a little bit past 5 now, I'm going to say, with all of you walking uphill.
The question is he going to bring everybody with as they're all marching around?
It's a hard call, huh?
It is. You know what? Just because as a player, I want to see what happens. He's just gonna, "Hey, can we make a stop?" And he leads them off to it.
Cameron walks up to him and whispers in his ear, was it from that girl? You know.
He doesn't
That girl?
answer. He just blushes.
It was from that girl.
And
And
Agatha says to
Darcy's in the back
Lewis,
like, I knew it.
yeah. Agatha is doing the same thing to Lewis. See, it is a girl.
Wait, what girl? I don't. Did I miss something?
So then Agatha starts recounting it, and she has a shocking amount of knowledge about what's going on, apparently, because she recounts pretty much everything that Cameron has heard. So
It's that closed circuit TV they have.
it's very possibly that. So for those in the audience who don't know, apparently Sullivan has some sort of mysterious connection to a lady who runs an antique store called Second Life. And everyone's headed in that direction right now. And in order to get to talk to this lady, he bought a sword. Maybe that's why. That's what Agatha's just implied.
Darcy sort of slowly walked up to Sullivan after she went with him last time. And actually quite discreetly for her, just sort of, what did she say?
Just now, she said she was free to talk, and she was at the store.
Right. Do you want us all to go in with you? Do you want us to wait around the corner, just to press ourselves up against the window and look in? What do you want us to do?
I don't know. I have no idea what I'm doing, Darcy.
Well, that's a great start. We could lurk, like, outside. But without looking, not like an intimidating lurk, just like a lurk.
I mean, the store's probably still open. You could just come inside and look around.
That would be less suspicious, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do that. I'll tell the others. And she starts to back away. She's not good socializing. She sort of looks back at the others like, right, we need to go into the shop and we're just going to look at things, observe. Maybe we want to buy something, maybe pick something up here and now and then, but, be there to support Sally.
I can definitely do that. Yep, I can do that.
Yeah, we can do that. This. Like, Darcy's trying to hype herself up.
Oh, the hubris of man.
Sully is regretting everything.
Seriously. So, of course, you arrive, and it's getting a little bit dark on the streets because of the shadows of all the buildings. It's not really anywhere near night. It's twilight. And with that, Second Life has a close sign very clearly in the front window. The lights that are on are just the couple little Tiffany lamps that are behind the front counter. And Amy is like looks like she's pacing back and forth behind the front door where the gate is closed and the door is probably locked, and sees you walking up with your 4 friends.
I think when he sees that it's closed, he'll because they hatched this whole scheme, right? So when he sees that it's closed, he'll turn and be like, why don't you guys head up a block? Don't, just in case, I mean, it's been a weird couple of days. In case things get weird, I don't want you back at the office, but just don't lurk.
Lewis will be the last to go, unless Agatha urges him on.
She's holding her phone up to Sullivan like this and hasn't moved. It's fine, go ahead.
Agatha, put that thing away.
I'm not going to get a good video if I put it away, am I?
That's the point.
I mean, I'm already taking the video.
Agatha, do you want me to take a video of you and Lewis?
Yes, please.
Okay, fine. All right, that's a good point. Lewis is super embarrassing.
I try.
Just go, a block, half a block, something. Just don't lurk because the store is closed. Just, yeah. And then he'll like start being like, okay, bye, see ya, and hoping everyone continues.
As you all walk just a little ways away, Agatha says, that werewolf was right over here, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Has
like
Darcy
every time.
also moved off to the side?
Darcy does that awkward, when someone tells you to leave and you don't notice for about 20 seconds and then do that really awkward, quickly leave the scene thing.
Okay. Have we got anything that's going on with the group before we go over to Sullivan?
I'd probably walk into a bin. She breaks stuff, but that's about it.
Has a nice big dent in it now, yep.
I think Cameron starts pacing kind of on the sidewalk the longer they're waiting. And finally, she pulls out her phone and sends a text message back to who she's pretty sure is Manny. And it says, you're going to have to show me that she's still okay. And then she's still just looking at her phone and waiting.
Okay. So we'll deal with that in a second, unless we have some Lewis stuff.
I was going to say, is Cameron visibly shaken right now?
I think she's usually pretty steady and kind of talks when she means to, and she's visibly pacing up and down. She looks shaken. Like she's not shaky, but she's definitely
Yeah, but she's
not quite herself for sure.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
she's-
so Lewis is gonna turn to Agatha and be like, look, Cameron is obviously shaken by this situation. I'm going to go calm her down. I'll be within seeing distance, but I'm just letting you know what I'm doing. And he's gonna like go up to her and kind of like put his arm like on her and like just kind of like try to calm her down. Not necessarily calm her down, but try to console her, I guess.
I think Cameron looks over at Lewis and is like, do you want to pace with me?
Sure, I will pace with you. Whatever you need me to do, I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got the pacing going on over there. And at the shop, as now Sullivan's friends have dispersed, Amy turns the key to the door and opens it and doesn't undo the gate. And she's just standing there.
I'm sorry about last night if I upset you.
Okay, so what do you want?
I had another dream, but I was awake.
Yeah. You need to stop coming around here.
Why?
Because every time you do, that happens.
How do I want to phrase that? Earlier today, I felt something almost like a pull to the store.
Uh-huh.
Have you felt anything like that?
That doesn't matter.
Why not?
I can't do this with you. You know, you can't just keep showing up like this. It's not right. I haven't done anything. I showed up and bought a sword and... I didn't do anything either. What's making this happen? You said you don't know.
Can I roll something to see if Sullivan's put enough pieces together?
Do you feel like you need to roll something to see if Sullivan's put this together?
I mean, it's hard because of what I, as a player, know to be like,
If you want dice involved, you can do it. If you want to say, here's how I feel like this is, speak your truth.
Okay. He looks at her through the gate. I don't know what's going on, Amy, but whatever it is, we're connected somehow. And whatever I'm seeing is more than a dream. It's the only thing I can think is it's a memory, an old memory.
But it's not now. It's not what's happening right now.
That's true.
So it's not something that has to happen. You can just leave me alone, and we don't have to keep doing this.
If that's really what you want, I will respect that, but I feel like together we could figure out what it is.
I mean, you just said that you know, or you feel like you know what it is. I feel like I know what it is too, and it doesn't feel like it's now. I don't know you.
That's true.
You're wearing a sword right now. Do you know that?
Yes.
I work in an antique store. I am wearing, and she puts her foot up, I am wearing kids. These are normal things. Wearing a sword, you have a ferret. I don't know what to do with that.
Yeah, that's a lot to take in. I understand. I mean, if you're sure that you're not interested in, I don't know. I don't know why I came here. I don't know what I want. If you think I'm too much and you don't want to get to know me because whatever this is the past, I'll respect that.
What's Pockets doing right now?
He probably has spent this whole time yelling, and I think that he's up on Sullivan's shoulder and like yelling at Sullivan and looking at Amy.
It doesn't make sense.
There's a lot of things that don't make sense.
If they don't make sense, then why do you have to keep... Why can't you leave them alone?
Because sometimes logic doesn't work. You have to go with your feelings.
It just hurts.
That's true. If you think it would hurt less to not know, I understand.
I don't know. And it's a lot. It's a lot to take in all at once.
I understand, and your feelings are completely valid. I've had a very strange week and a half. There's been a lot to take in.
I think, says Amy. And at that moment, you notice that her shadow is growing longer than it was before. Because she's standing in a room that's fairly lit, and you see it kind of like fold up and push against the wall. And as it does so, it separates. And her shadow kind of like slinks back down, and there's just a black outline of a thing that's standing now, moving towards her.
Cool, this is totally, yep, this is great. I definitely think Pocket starts yelling at Amy before Sullivan does.
Yeah, Pockets is definitely caught on to what's happening. And Sullivan had that moment maybe of intense eye contact with Amy because her eyes are big and watery and there's something going on there. And in that moment where he's paying attention to something else, Pockets catches this and sees this shadow start to come up. And like the shadow is starting to form like a head of long flowing hair, the outline of a black dress. And as it's reaching out with both of its hands like this in Amy's direction, I mean, what are you going to do?
Sullivan's just like, Amy, you need to open the gate and you need to come with me right now.
I don't know. And she's wiping away a tear. And in that moment, the gate's not open. She's right there. The shadow's reaching out.
I'm going to try and cut the gate down. God damn it. Because I feel like that's what Sullivan would do.
Well, this gate is going to get cut down because this is a mighty magical sword. The only thing you have to roll is to see if it's the last time you use the sword.
Well, I'm not using the power. I'm just cutting with it.
I feel like it's still appropriate because you're about to cut a gate in half.
That's fair. I just wanted to clarify.
I just want to clarify that when you roll that d20, if you roll a 1, it's still going away.
Okay.
All right.
Nope, that's a 3. Whew.
It's good stuff. There was a lock on this door. It's one of those gates where the lock is just a welded piece of the gate, and the sword cuts through it. There's no resistance whatsoever. And the gate snaps open abruptly. And Amy gasps, and her hand that was already on her face kind of goes towards her mouth. And the shadow is reaching its hands right around towards her at this moment.
He's gonna push past the gate and try and reach for her himself.
Are you faster than a shadow, Mal?
God, I hope so.
Make this. It's a difficulty 4, speed test, or initiative test.
Okay. He's gonna spend effort. I think he's gonna spend all three. So that brings him to that. And if my notes are correct, I still have 2 advantage, so I'm gonna spend 1 of that too. And I'm gonna roll with initiative.
It's all good stuff. It's all very, very good stuff. So let's go for the minor effect, because you rolled a 19. So what is something that a #urban druid is going to get out of this moment?
Okay, well, because I've never gotten to use the suggestion I wrote all the way back before we started, but I think the minor effect is Pockets glows, and Pockets leaps off of Sullivan's shoulder. And as Pockets does this, another image of another ferret appears, and they get in the way of the shadow from grabbing Amy.
Yeah, so that happens. So the shadow is moving around, and both ferrets jump towards it. And there's this moment where the shadow it goes 2D on you, and they just kind of pass by, but you're definitely fast enough, and this is your chance if you want to do something.
He's just going to try and take her hand and pull her with him away from the shadow.
Okay. Go ahead and make a speed contest. Again, this is the same difficulty of 4, because you have to grab her before the shadow grabs her. And if you fail, you're both going to get grabbed.
Okay, well, we're going to spend more effort. We're going to burn so much effort.
That's fine if that's how you want to do it.
That is how I want to do it. Yep. We've got recovery actions. I'm gonna make use of everything. Can I use initiative again, or is it straight speed this time?
This is a speed defense, actually.
Okay. A 10.
It's good. It's very good. You grab her, and it's not gentle, it's fast. And as the shadow reaches out with these claws, Amy gets totally caught off guard, does a yelp noise, and gets pulled towards you hard as these 2 ferrets are jumping back and forth in front of the shadow. I would say at this point, everyone between the gate being cut and all of this is pretty aware something's happening, and you're about 1 action away, space-wise. So, Lewis and Cameron and Agatha, I know what Agatha's going to do, and Darcy, what do you want to do?
I think upon hearing the commotion straight away, Darcy, probably narrowly missing that trash can again, sort of hurtles her way back towards the shop entrance.
Okay. And how about Lewis?
Can you do Cameron first?
Sure. How about Cameron?
Cameron's probably among the last to notice it. She's still pacing, walking with Lewis, checking her phone every couple of seconds.
Yeah, and it did a chime, and you're doing that thing where it says new MMS download, and it's loading. But for whatever reason, it's just taking a beat.
And I think Cameron's just like looking at that and is still pacing and is like almost kind of just not registering the other part that's going on.
Cool. And how about Lewis?
So I think Lewis then is gonna kind of like tug on Cameron, be like, we gotta go.
Oh, go what? Holy shit. And we'll like then start to hear the noises.
Yeah. And Lewis is gonna take off.
And since we've established that people who do magic stuff can spend more points out of their pool and do extra cool magic stuff, Agatha just grabs you both and goes poof, and does a Nightcrawler type poof where she ends up directly behind Sullivan now.
Fuck yeah.
So that happens. Okay, so everybody's pretty much right there, and let's start with Sullivan, since you're kind of like the main dude right now. What's going to go on?
Okay, so to figure out, let's see. So he's grabbed Amy. He's trying to leave. So when you say everyone's behind him, like behind him, or
when you start yanking Amy, if you were to yank a little bit harder, you would have thrown Amy directly into Darcy, and then everybody else is right behind Darcy.
Okay, I think what he'll do then is he'll pull Amy and like pull her and let go so that she keeps moving into the group, and then he'll turn and be like, I don't know why the witch wants her, get her out of here. And then he'll turn around like sword up to face where the witch was.
Okay, so this is your moment if you want to take the moment, otherwise I'm going to pass it to someone else.
I think that's all I'm gonna do.
Okay, and Darcy.
So have I just I've just come in as this has all happened? Or...
Yeah, as you basically run up, Sullivan just threw Amy at you, more or less.
She's just sort of like has her arms out and takes this woman she doesn't even know, and I think probably wraps her arms around her almost like to catch her, but looks over to Sullivan almost to be what to do, but it's just a look.
Okay, and Cameron, your phone is loading that picture. I don't know what else you were going to do, but that definitely happens in this split second. And there you see like legs and the shots coming back, and Jessica's looking up furiously at the phone with a piece of duct tape on her mouth.
I think Cameron has been zapped to this spot, and she's only looking at her phone.
Okay, sounds good.
And that's it.
Lewis, how about you?
Lewis probably is like, yeah, Darcy, we gotta go. We gotta get her out of here. Sullivan says to get her out of here. We gotta get her out of here. That's all we can do is we just have to, and he just like is going on about how we have to get her out of here and like trying to like push up.
Like Darcy's like got this woman sort of pulling her back. She said, we can't just leave Sully.
Agatha, stay here and help him. She's more powerful than both of us. Or at least me.
Agatha says, crap. And looks over her shoulder, which is the moment where everybody realizes that your shadow that you are looking at continues trailing back behind you to where the witch is standing in the direction that you are all running right now. This is the witch's shadow that you're looking at. And the witch is right where you've all turned to run.
Darcy like clings to this woman probably a little bit too tightly and mildly out of fear, but also out of feeling she's been given this person to protect. It's just like, it's more sort of a skidding halt and immediately looking round for another exit.
So the first one that you met, which was the Rhymer, was very pale and sallow and looked like she had gotten a little bit rotten, but actually had a fairly herbaceous smelling breath. This one is standing very stock still. She's wearing a black dress that just goes down, and there's no movement, no life to it whatsoever. Her arms are held up in the same pose as her shadow, so they're outstretched towards you, and they look like normal human hands with very pale, long fingernails. And she's looking at you with not even like dead eyes, like she's not really seeing you at all. But her arms are outstretched and she's moving in your direction, and her shadow is doing the exact same thing in a mirror pose to her.
Lewis is going to step in front of Darcy, so he's between the witch and Amy.
Okay.
Darcy's looking for a space to move this woman away, like either side. If this witch is coming from closing in like that, she's trying to look in which direction she can go without it.
Okay. Cameron?
The picture loads, and what is it? We see Jessica with duct tape over her mouth and in a chair.
Yep.
Cameron,
she's actually like sitting on the ground, but yeah, looking up at the camera.
So she's stunned, and then like the first thing that comes to her mind to do is to like thrust her phone out at this witch, and say, "Are you working with the werewolves? Did you take my roommate?"
Okay. Go ahead and make an intellect roll if you want to try to determine which motives.
Okay. Let's also throw some effort at this. What would the difficulty be?
Difficulty's 4.
Okay. We'll roll with 2 effort. Intellect.
Sounds good. I love how you guys are spending effort tonight. You guys are crushing it with the effort.
Ooh, not this time.
Awesome. Well,
oh no.
You hit the number. So Scrat, I do need to go up 1, and this is going to explain how I don't even have to fight you guys at this moment, because when the moment where this all happens and the shadow kind of like slingshots back in towards the witch, when it goes, Darcy, you just feel your arms like collapse in on themselves, and you can feel your elbows touching your body, and Amy is gone.
I think Darcy's like grabbing at nothingness and is looking down at her empty arms and looks back at Sully.
And Cameron's phone chimes. It says 9:15, Golden Gate Bridge. Climb.
Climb, and she'll message that back real quick with a question mark.
Yep, and there is a picture that's taken from the base of the Golden Gate Bridge, looking straight up at those big, epic cross sections, the towers, the pillars, whatever the term is for a bridge. The things what make the bridge stay up.
And then she'll look at the time and try to like puzzle out, like, is there enough time to get over there and do this ridiculous thing that...
Yeah, you guys have like 3 hours.
Hey guys, how do you feel about going on a field trip with me tonight? And then she'll show everyone the message.
I think Darcy's probably still looking at Sully in shock. Like, I'm so sorry.
Oh, right. Sorry. What just happened?
I think all of this is going on, and as soon as the snapback happens and Amy's gone, and I think Sullivan's just like, fuck. And then he walks out of the building, sword still in his hand. And it's not until he gets outside that he realizes Cameron's talking about whatever she's talking about.
Yeah. So let's flash around and we'll think about what kind of preparation you may have done, but we're going to be back on the Golden Gate Bridge. In other words, in these next 3 hours, if you did something, we're going to hear about it while we're doing this scene. When you all got your things together and got ready to go out to the bridge, you went back to Horoscoops, and in the street outside the front door, you found one AirPod. The worst way to find any AirPod. But so there was one AirPod just sitting in the middle of the street. We're winding the clock forward 3 hours now and putting ourselves on that tower of the Golden Gate Bridge. And I gotta change music up. But as we know at this point, Manny, the werewolf, wearing a button-down shirt, pulled open, a lot of scratches and scars on his chest, pair of jeans. He has one hand on Miles Shaw's shoulder. Jessica's not bound anymore, but she is standing right at the edge of this tower. When I say not bound, I mean she doesn't have tape on her mouth. She is actually bound. Hands are down at her sides. Same with Amy, in the same position. They're all hands bound with zip ties. And Manny says, "Give me the book or I push him off." You brought it, right? Agatha is holding up her backpack, and there is some large, heavy volume inside. She points to it. She says, "Yeah."
Why are you doing this, Manny?
Look, it's a job. I'm not proud of it. I don't have to like it, but I need stuff just like you need stuff. I need that book.
You shouldn't need the book for this. You shouldn't be proud of yourself. You don't have to do whatever this is.
Jessica says, "Cameron, you don't really know what you're talking about." Thanks for coming out here, by the way. And Manny says, "Look, you guys can talk all you want. You guys can talk up here all day. Give me the book, or I'm going to push him off this bridge." Should I not start with him? Should I push? And he puts his hand on Jessica. Do I need to push my cousin off this bridge? She might survive. And he's looking down. He's like, "I don't know."
Who wants it?
Look, you know who wants it. I work for them. I need the book. I need it now. We can't do this any longer. Let's go. He points at Amy. He says, "I know she's not going to make it. I don't even want to touch her."
You touch her, it's the last thing you do.
Look, man, this is really simple. I don't have to do anything. Give me the book. Everybody just climbs down that ladder.
I don't know what everybody else is doing, but there's a few of us. So Sullivan at least is starting to like try and make his way to get around everything.
Don't make it harder, man. It's real slippery up here. It's wet. It's late. Couple minutes. You know, it's going to be too loud to do this. We got to get this done now.
Is it just money that they're giving you? We could give you money.
Yeah, money, everything. But you know, you guys don't have to deal with it. You guys can all hide just fine. You don't have to worry about the city doing something to you. How do you think nobody figures out there's werewolves in the city?
I mean, y'all are pretty good at it. I've been living with Jessica for like 3 years.
I'm not that good at it. I keep doing stupid stuff. You guys got a picture of me. I'm in the paper. I'm online. I don't need that. Look, someone keeps it, you know, they make sure nobody figures it out. Let's do this. This is a waste of time. I want that book.
Darcy's still in a pair of massive oversized shoes, and she slowly just stands there, starts taking them off because she wants to have grip if anything happens. Here she has to run fast. She's slowly undoing these boots.
Let me just give them the book.
What happens if you give them the book?
They get what they want, and everybody else lives.
I don't want
She
this
takes a
dude to
step
have the
forward.
book.
I don't want him to have the book either. It means a lot to me. But this is 3 people that are going to die. She takes another step forward.
So, well, maybe you don't hand over the book. And Darcy sort of holds her hands out.
What?
I'll hand over the book. Let's maybe not give them the person who can read it as well.
Manny says, come on, get it going. I don't care who does it as long as someone does it. And I guess it's okay. All right, Darcy. And she hands you the big backpack.
She sort of holds it. Oh, this is gonna go bad. Okay. And she slowly, probably feet very cold now because it's on metal. And she definitely would have taken her socks off.
Yep. And you're real high up in the air. There's a strong wind blowing against you as you move.
And she sort of holds the rucksack, her bag quite closely. And she sort of approaches very closely. And she's like, how is my brother involved?
Different people have different plans. This is my plan. I don't know that he is.
Okay. Now, the three of them, let them go over to my friends now.
Nope. Give me the book or I'm going to push him off. And he gives Miles a shove. And this guy was wearing like plain old Nike running shoes in the first place. It is slippery up here. And there's a moment where his foot starts to go out from under him and he starts teetering over the edge. Manny grabs him by the front of his shirt and pulls him back up like this so that he's at least upright. I barely touched him. If we're going to do this, we do it now.
And she looks back to the others briefly, sort of loosening her grip on the actual bag. And she gets very, very close to them and is just holding it out. She's still got a very firm grip on it. She's like, I'm not going to let go fully until you let them go to the other side.
Just give me the book. And then you can just let him walk over, but hand me the book. He's still got one
How
hand on
can I
Miles.
trust you? I don't know who you are.
You don't have to trust me. We're on top of a bridge. This is really, really high up. Just give me the book.
No, but you need to trust me.
He is reaching his hand out. He's lunging for the bag.
I will, and she sort of holds on to it.
Okay. And he's got a firm grip on it too. Give me the bag.
I will set this on fire if you don't let them go.
Look, I don't care what happens to them. Give me the bag.
I don't care what happens to you. Let them go.
He lets go and pushes Miles off the bridge.
I think.
Okay, quick, what are we going to do?
Darcy throws the rucksack back towards Sullivan and jumps off the bridge.
Okay, so Darcy's jumping off the bridge. We're going to go around clockwise. What's Lewis doing?
Yeah, how far is Lewis away from this?
Well, Agatha and Lewis were back here, and Darcy's here. It's not that big a bridge. You're probably within 10 feet of everything going on.
Yeah, I'm going to jump off, and I actually have a physical skill called jumping.
Okay, so you are also jumping off the bridge, is what you're saying?
Yes.
Cool. Okay, hey, Sullivan, how are you doing?
Well, first I'd like to say, because we had 3 hours, so he spends some recovery actions, because he burned through a lot of points.
Go ahead and do that, yeah.
And, it probably doesn't entirely matter because we had 3 hours, but he has quick recovery now, so his first 2 recoveries are single actions.
Good show.
So 9. Now I got a math. How do numbers work?
I will come back to you so you get time to do this without feeling pressured.
Okay.
And we're going to keep going around. What's Cameron doing?
So I think this whole time Cameron's trying to imagine some kind of magic she could do to negate any threat that Manny sees. And what happens in her mind is she imagines like a barrier or a net to like come up directly behind these 3 people who are, at threat of being pushed off. And so as Manny goes to actually do the push, she'll try to summon up magic to actually create a barrier directly behind them to hopefully prevent any pushing and jumping.
Okay. So all this is going to happen, including whatever mathematical calculation Sullivan needs to do.
Yeah,
and we are again. Okay, we are again. What does Sullivan want to do? Let's hear that.
Well, he's obviously going to catch the bag full of books first, and I think he literally just grabs the bag, throws it back to Agatha, and he's going to sprint towards Manny.
Okay, so we know what the name of this game is because we played it before. We are back to everyone's favorite, Are You Faster Than Werewolf? Werewolves are speed 4. What you were trying to do is, in the moment that I've described this push happening, you're trying to be faster than this push happening. So let's go ahead and make an initiative test, which is super great for Cameron. It's the thing that she's the least good at. And yeah, we're trying to beat a 4. You guys can go ahead and think about what efforts you want to spend and do your points and so forth. I trust y'all. You've been doing very good with it. If you have any questions, I'm of course happy to help.
I spent effort.
You did.
Yep. And I got a 15.
But your roll was a 3.
Oh, was it?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. I saw Cameron's come up. That's what, yeah.
It's good. It's good.
Cool. Let's increase the
I don't even have to tell Scrat anymore. Scrat's got it covered. We still got 2 to go.
Cool. Let's just screw this all up.
It never directly counteracts the thing you're doing. It just adds something really terrible on top of it.
That's what I'm worried about.
Yes, thank you.
Since I'm skilled at jumping, will that help my initiative or no? Okay.
For the part where you jump off the bridge and actually catch someone, that's going to help.
So not this, but the roll after. Right. Okay.
That's right. This is the question of timing. Yeah.
What about my skill in running? Now would that help?
Sure. Yeah, you're pushing for this real hard. I'm going to give you
I am. I have all these skills that I don't ever get to use.
That's cool. We're good with that. Yeah. So Cameron's plenty fast enough for this moment to have things happen, so that's good. Lewis is plenty fast enough. And we just got to figure out, Darcy, did we get yours in? I don't see one.
Is the level of 3?
Level 4.
Level 4. I am going to spend 2 effort. Actually, maybe 1. I'll do 1. Oh, a speed check. Oh dear. Never mind.
Okay. So we got 2 horror threshold raises out of that. Thank you all. So we're at a 7 now. But things won't be that bad. So here's how this goes. Everyone's running. Things are going crazy. Cameron's trying to throw up a magical barrier. Manny has pushed Miles Shaw. Miles flails with both hands and grabs Jessica as he's falling off of the ledge. So they're now falling together. And things are, of course, going to get worse in a second. But with all that in mind, we have some things we have to resolve that are fast. So let's talk about Cameron's first. I think Cameron is technically... Actually, I take it back. I was about to be there. I think Lewis is technically the fastest. So, Lewis, you went running. What did you do?
So I'm jumping and I'm going for the closest person to me that is not Darcy.
I'm going to say
just trying to grab
Jessica. Them. Yeah, unless you're trying to aim for Amy, who's not been pushed, it's going to be Jessica.
Nope, I'm aiming for one of the people falling off.
Okay, let's say it's Jessica. She is teetering and about to fall.
Yeah, I'm gonna... Oh, this is so dumb. But I feel like, because I'm gonna, like, Lewis is preparing to jump, so he's gonna go and essentially grab her, but also jump just because he's going so fast. And he, like, that's what he was doing. Like, that's what he was prepared to do. And he doesn't have the reaction time fast enough to stop, because that's a thing. So he's going to try to still essentially jump, but grab onto the ledge. and have her in the other arm.
Okay. Go ahead and make your climbing check. Yeah, we said climbing, right? That's what we're shooting for here. This is your holding on to a bridge check. Which now
Okay,
has
either
to be,
one.
it's going to be climbing, and it has to be might based. So you now have to hold on to this bridge while you're holding another person. And I mean, 4 is such a good number. Let's just keep doing 4.
Okay. I'm gonna spend. Oh, I have an edge. Oh gosh, we did this last week.
I can walk you through it all if you need. No worries.
Thanks.
Yeah.
So because I have climbing, which will reduce it by 1, right?
That's right. So you
And
got
then
1 skill.
And then if I wanted to spend, it would be 4 edge or 4 of my pool to reduce it by 2. Okay, cool. That is what I'll do. So I'm gonna reduce. So that makes it a 1 now, and I will roll that.
Roll versus.
Oh, thank goodness! You don't know how scary that is.
So you're holding the bridge with one hand, and it's like you're not even sure if you're holding onto a bolt or a what, but you've got a hand on something, and Jessica's at arm's length on the other side of you. So it's very, very good. And Cameron, now you're like throwing your hands forward. Is that what we're going for? Magical barrier?
Yeah, I think, she shoots her hands forward and like sparks kind of shoot out and behind this group that's teetering and falling and like materialize into a solid barrier.
Okay, I'm going to give you an option if you're interested in this now that we know that Lewis has fallen off the ledge. Do you want a floor versus a wall?
Yes. I think maybe it starts to materialize as a wall, and then like Cameron is realizing what's happening in this moment, and the glittery golden sparks dissipate again and then reform beneath the jumpers.
Yep, perfect. Okay, so what did we do last time? You have to spend 2 for this, right? Above whatever the cost of the barrier is.
So this skill actually has crazy stuff baked into it. So
nice.
A level 2 barrier, and then I want to go ahead and spend enough points to increase it to a level 5 barrier. So basically it gets 1 extra level for every level of effort, and this is going to almost completely tap out all of her intellect pool.
Okay, yeah, because you've kicked it up to being 8 points of cost, and then you have an edge of 2, so you're going to take 6 points off for this, right?
And it has a base of 3, so it's going to cost 9.
Well, no, so that's what I meant. It's going to be 3 plus 5 for the 2 levels of effort.
Yes.
Okay, so you only have to spend 8 minus 2, 6.
There we go.
Perfect. Okay, so that has happened, and 5 is really good, so you don't have to worry about that too much anymore. Let's talk about what Sullivan did as all that went down. As far as you can tell, Amy's the only one who's actually in danger of being pushed again, because everybody else has been caught in some way.
Well, but he was lunging for Manny.
Okay, now what is Sullivan going to do?
He's going to hit him with his sword, or maybe the water attack with his sword. No, he's just going to hit him with the sword. He's not going to do the attack with the magic.
So are you just chopping him with it as a sword, or are you going to slice him in half like you did that gate?
Mal really wants to chop him in half. But I don't know that that's what Sullivan would do. I think Sullivan's just going to hit him with it. Okay.
So it's just a normal old magic sword, and you're just going to roll against a level 4 werewolf. And this is a might check.
Well, I am now trained in medium-bladed attacks, which I believe the sword qualifies as a medium weapon.
Very so, yes.
So what's the difficulty? Still 4, I'm guessing?
Still 4, but you're using a skill, so it's going to be 1 less.
Yep. Okay, do I get to add an asset because the sword, or is that included because I've got that skill?
Yeah, that's included because you have that skill. If you want to use the magic of the sword, you can do it, and you don't have to roll to attack. You just have to roll for depletion.
Okay, I'm gonna spend 1 tier of effort and hope for the best.
It's good. It went really well. He gets hit with a sword. He lets out a snarl that doesn't sound totally human, and it's a very, very fine line that's cut him down his chest like this, and he grabs his body and starts slumping over on the ground at that moment. So that's, of course, when he starts turning into a werewolf. And as he hits the ground, he suddenly goes and doubles in bulk very suddenly, and you can see like long platinum gray hair starting to grow out. And let's talk about Darcy. So Darcy, you've run forward, you're not wearing shoes, you saw Miles Shaw go over the edge, you saw Lewis grabbing Jessica as he went over the edge. What are you going to do?
So who is still falling effectively?
That's a great question, because the barrier is there, but you probably caught that second horror threshold raise as someone reaches for Miles and starts pulling him over the edge of the barrier, and he begins to fall a second time.
I think she'll just try and make herself literally as streamlined as possible to get to him as fast as she can, if that's possible.
It's a falling check, really, is what we're looking for here, isn't it?
I mean, I'm good at breaking things. So,
you are good at breaking things.
Can I
So
break
because of the fact
sound?
that you're jumping off of an entire bridge. I mean, honestly, let's just describe the cool stuff that's happening. Miles is falling, and right now his arms are out and he's going backwards like this. How's Darcy going down?
She probably goes down quite straight and then opens. She's reaching out with her arms, and as soon as she actually gets contact with him, she probably, like, almost like koala bears, like legs and arms around him, and on the way down she's getting bigger and bigger, and then that's when probably her jump will finally tear under the sides and her wings come out the back.
So you've fallen about 100, well, maybe not 100 feet. You've fallen about 50 feet at this point, and you're starting to really pick up velocity, and the wind's like tearing at your face and making it tear. You feel just your sweater jumper just rips behind you. You feel the wings come out, and what happens?
She probably hits him with a lot of force as well. Like, this isn't comfortable. This hurts, and I think for a moment she steadies herself, and if he looks up, he realizes that her eyes are half closed because she's scared of heights. So she's just like, don't look down, don't look down. And it's half telling him and half telling herself. She tries to, how close is the ground now? Like, is there somewhere she can effectively drop him off, or is there?
You have choices. You are on the Golden Gate Bridge, which means it's a road. This is like the Tower Bridge. So you are on the busiest, traffic intersection in San Francisco. For more fun, the clock is just hitting 9:30. So at the moment that Darcy wings out and starts to glide, all the fireworks in the bay are going off. And with all of that going on behind you, you have water that's another further 40 or so feet down, or else you've got the roadway.
Yeah, she sort of goes down and is like, can you swim?
This guy is not supposed to look okay right now, but he actually smiles at you and says, you have no idea.
Okay, then swim. And she gets low enough that it won't break any of his bones, then it hits the surface and just let go of him.
Perfect.
Before heading straight back up when she can.
Way, way, way back up in the air. You're on a bridge, and there's a werewolf, and a magic barrier is kind of around you, hopefully. And you've got Amy is still there. Jessica is like being held at arm's length. Let's wrap around our initiative one more time, and let's start out with Lewis. So Lewis, you're freehand holding this lady.
That barrier
is still growling. Yeah.
She starts growling. Don't growl at me. Why are you
her eyes are starting
to
turn. Her eyes are turning yellow, and she's becoming kind of hairy, and she's starting to pull up you like you're a rope.
Can I wait till she does and then pull myself up?
Yeah, she
As
palms her
much as I
face
hate
and
this.
pushes down on your head so that she can climb up and over you. And then you feel her foot like also go on top of your head where you have your lovely beanie. And as she vaults onto the bridge, like the pylon or whatever, she's starting to turn into a big black wolf.
Well, I thought she was growling at me, but apparently not. So I'm going to pull myself up.
You do a little chin up.
Okay. I mean, can I get like all the way up though? Like,
yeah, you're up there. There's two
Oh.
wolves that are looking at each other very menacingly. You've got Amy on this side, you've got Cameron on that side, and Sullivan on the other side. So you've got a very weird standoff going.
am I on the side with Amy?
Sure.
Or on the okay? Because I would like to essentially step in again. In between, I just want to step right in front of her, and so that like she's like less than a foot behind me. So if anything happens, I can grab her.
Yep.
And I
So
think
there.
and I think I kind of want to. Sorry, I kind of want to angle myself so my back isn't to her. My side is though.
That sounds
But like
good.
right like that, like I'm standing like this kind of right, like my side's to her, but I'm fully. Anyway,
Yeah,
that's
you've got a good stance going. You're blocking things off. I would like to point out that the horror threshold is now 8, which is usually a lucky number, but probably just for me in this case. And thank you, Snow Dogs. We appreciate that. So with that, Lewis, everything's great. You're doing great, having a great time. Yeah. Let's talk about Cameron. Cameron, what are you going to do?
So she, I think, runs to the edge of the bridge and will look down and sigh for a moment, almost a relief to see that I guess everyone else almost is like on this hovering golden platform. And I think what she wants to try and do is summon another barrier to come down and basically chop it where it's just Manny on like a corner and like wall him off on his own little island from the rest of the group.
Okay, so you can do this. You need to make at least a level 4 barrier because he's level 4. So keep in mind it's going to hurt. Secondarily, you do have to do a roll because if this goes bad, there will be magical shenanigans.
So a level 4, so it costs me 3 to cast the spell. And then I need to apply 2 levels of effort to do that.
You only need 1 level of effort to get a level 4, right?
It's 1 effort for every additional level of barrier.
Right, but didn't we do the last one as level 5?
No, yes, and I had to spend 3 levels of effort.
Oh, okay, got it.
So it mostly tapped my pool. So what happens if you drop below your, what happens if you fully deplete your pool?
Fully deplete your pool, you become impaired, and everything gets real bad for you. If you get to the point where like you could spend like all the way down and you still need 1 point, you can totally take that off of another pool and still become impaired. It will be bad.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, cool. So I'm on board with all of this. I think you should take it from your might pool because I think it's probably more of a draining sensation. If you want to take it off of your speed, that would be like, I mean, you could do that too. It's your choice, really.
I could be double impaired, which would be fun.
It's really not. When you have 2 pools that are down, you can't do anything except crawl. When you have 1 pool down, you can't spend effort without spending an additional amount for every level of effort you spend.
Okay, so I think what I'll do is it'll cost me 9 minus my 2 edge, so it'll cost 7 for me to cast this level 4 barrier. So that will come down. What do you want me to roll for you?
Just go ahead and roll a d20 for your intellect and just don't roll in the horror threshold.
9.
Amazing. That's exactly what you need, of course. So with that, nothing bad happens, no one dies, and Manny is now cut off from everybody else.
And Cameron's intellect pool goes to 0.
Yeah, Cameron looks really unsteady and like she might throw up any second now. So, Sullivan, how you doing over there?
all things considered, pretty good actually at the moment.
So there's a werewolf with a magical barrier in front of him, snapping and snarling at it. There's another werewolf snapping and snarling at the other side of the magical barrier. Lewis is protecting Amy, and Cameron is over here and looks like she's about to fall off this bridge.
Oh God.
Don't die. Don't die.
Jeez, I don't know what. Actually, I totally know what I'm gonna do. Because I learned something a little bit ago that I haven't shown off yet. Because Cameron's impaired, right?
Yes.
Okay. Sullivan with the sword out he sees Cameron's in rough shape. He doesn't turn his back to either werewolf, but he'll make his way over to Cameron and he's going to use Repair Flesh.
This is actually really, really cool.
So before I use it, I'll read it because I haven't done it before. When you touch an impaired or debilitated character, you can move them up one step on the damage track. Alternatively, if you use this as ability as an PC during a rest, you grant them +2 on their recovery roll. It's an action.
That's very good. So, Cameron, for a second there, you were pretty sure you were considering passing out, and Sullivan touches you, and you feel better. You don't get any points back. You're just not going to fall over in a second. There's mechanical really bad stuff that happens if you are at that impaired level and somebody hits you.
I think Cameron looked like she was about to hurl and is maybe like stumbling and close to falling off the edge herself. And then the color like returns back to her face when Sully touches her.
Yeah, and it costs me points to do it, but what I imagine is even though we're out on the bridge and you can probably smell the salt on the air, there's this scent of earth and forest when he touches you.
Goddamn Sully.
Okay, now with all of that, our next part we've got is Agatha takes her turn. She grabs her bag off the ground and throws it over her shoulder and says, "Let's get out of here before he gets out of that barrier." Is Darcy okay? And Darcy, how are you doing?
I think she comes. Is there any immediate danger on the bridge still?
Great question. When you say on the bridge, do you mean the cars driving by, or do you mean the people up on top fighting werewolves?
Those up on top and werewolves and stuff.
I feel like fictionally, Darcy has no idea, unfortunately, because you do have to sail up quite a ways.
Then she probably comes crashing down onto she is not elegant in any way whatsoever, comes crashing down, probably half in demonic form. And she's literally clinging onto the side of onto the bridge, like laying down, like, because she doesn't like the heights, and she's sort of half got her eyes closed at the same time. She's trying to calm herself down.
So here's a really neat thing. Miles Shaw, when he hit the water, he did like a little sploosh, and then there was like a shimmer, and in the water you see a shape going like this. And when it breaks the water, there are long antler-type horns, a broad snout, a long scaled body. You see 2 feet come up and out of the water, and he's making a motion kind of like this as the other 2 feet come out of the water. You see the long tail by this point, like 30 feet long, and just continues up and out into the bay as all these fireworks are like reflecting off of his scales.
I think Darcy is looking over the edge at this point. Yeah, and is trying to find a camera, like shaking like a leaf, like, okay, like sort of reaching over, swearing under her breath, because in her head, this guy could have flown anyway. Just like, you mother, like trying to zoom in and get this picture. If she misses
Okay.
it, she's going after him with her camera.
That's fine.
She's going to go full drone.
Okay. Your difficulty is 3, which is entirely based on the amount of shaking you're doing.
I want to use my nat 20, please.
I mean, that's what this is for exactly this moment. You take a picture of a dragon. Backlit. Is it backlit? If it's with the fireworks in front, what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah?
I want to
Okay.
get a full bokeh effect.
You've got all of those fireworks going off and they're like streaming down in the background, and you've got the like sinuous shape of the dragon going out into the bay at just this moment.
And she's like cursing under her breath, both with the mixture of she's still hanging over the side of the bridge and that this thing could have sorted itself out, and she's terrified of heights, and she's swearing a lot right now. And she doesn't
And
do
it's
that.
getting loud now too, because you can hear all the reverberation of all these fireworks. So there's like the big thunderous roars of gunpowder going off far into the bay. So it's a lot. It's a lot of a lot. Let's slow it down and bring it back in. People who are up on top of the bridge. Agatha is the first one down. She basically just grabbed her book bag, looked at Manny, gave him the finger, went down the ladder. How about, let's do the clockwise. How about Sarah? What did Cameron do?
I think Cameron like takes a breath, like maybe steadies herself on Sully for a second, and then for mechanic's sake, she'll actually like do a recovery roll at that moment to kind of have her wits about her before climbing down the ladder with the rest of the group.
Okay, and in that second that you take where you're recovering, Jessica pulls her stuff together and realizes that she's just barking at a magic wall, and she's done with that. So she pops back into a human form with a lot of like gross twisting and groaning. And she also did that thing again where she doesn't really plan clothing out for being a werewolf who's turned back into a human. So she's pretty naked at this point and like walking over your direction goes, "Oh my gosh, Cameron, all right, let's get out of here."
Yeah, no. And then I think Cameron's all like pretty much always wearing like a metal shirt and then like flannel over the top. So she like takes a breath, and then without thinking, she's like taking off her flannel shirt and like handing it over to Jessica and says,
And she's
"Gosh."
like immediately putting on like somebody giving her clothes is like a normal thing that happens to her, and she's like trying to do buttons as she goes down the what's it called, ladder.
She's just like, "Man, I'm really happy you're all right. I don't know, I'm kind of like happy you're a werewolf, because goddamn, you can handle yourself."
Can we do this when we're not on a bridge?
Yeah, that sounds good. Let's stop being here.
So she goes down, and let's talk about, well, we know what Darcy's doing. Let's talk about Lewis.
I think Lewis is going to just follow after Agatha.
Okay.
Yeah, when he gets down, he's just like, are you okay? Is everything okay? Or not, is everything okay, but are you okay?
It's fine. Let's just keep going before that werewolf catches up or a witch shows up or something.
Absolutely. Let's get out of here.
And then let's talk about Sullivan. So Amy has walked over towards you. She's like eyeing the ladder. She says, I didn't like getting up here. I don't want to go down there, but I guess it's okay. I could do this. And she just grabs the ladder and starts very slowly backing down.
I think if she'd let him, Sullivan would go first, just in case she slipped.
Okay. That's fine. So you're down there. She's getting down there. She curses a lot going down a ladder. She seemed really like upset about this. Like she's having some fear of heights kind of thing going on. Everyone gets down to the bottom. Yep. Darcy's commiserating from across the bridge. Yep. And that was the good jumper too. So what are you going to do? At the bottom, Agatha's off to one side. Lewis is there. Agatha opens up her backpack. What was inside? Did you guys do the real books, or did you have a decoy? You can't all be muted. Somebody's got to say it.
I think real books.
You think they were the real spell books? Okay, Sammy, what do you think?
I mean, Lewis would have asked for the decoys. He would have pushed that.
We're gonna go down to like a party vote. Okay, what did Darcy say?
I'm not sure because I feel like she was worried that they would know if it wasn't the real books, but she was very willing to set them on fire if she had to. Okay. So I think there was a part of her that sort of didn't know and was hoping they were decoys.
That's fair. Okay, what did Sullivan think?
I think Agatha would have brought the... Did I freeze?
Yeah, but we heard that you think that Agatha brought the real book. Yep. So she opens up the backpack and the book is still in there and she goes, okay, we gotta not do that again. Any of that. Cameron's standing next to Jessica. Jessica's wearing like a flannel shirt and it's like cut kind of short, so it's not going great. And she goes, okay, can I hold the backpack? Or do you guys have, does one of you have pants or something? And Agatha takes the book out and hands her the backpack. So she's like holding it in front of herself at waist level.
Do you want my jumper? It's got a hole in it, but only at the back.
As Darcy walks along from the Golden Gate Bridge.
She's slowly getting smaller again.
Don't you need that?
No, you could actually wear the jumper as pants.
I have no shame, but are you sure you don't need that? Because I want that.
You can have it. I wear an oversized t-shirt underneath. She just sort of takes it off.
She's like, well, people.
There's a very shredded t-shirt at the back, but she's like, the trend.
Yep. It's good stuff. Okay, and then Amy's standing there next to Sullivan, and her eyes look like burning hot, like she's about to cry any second now.
I think he'll very gently try and take her into a hug. And
she puts her hand on your chest when you go for that, but she says, okay. How do we do magic?
Depends on your magic, I guess. Mine's pretty natural, both in how I do it and what it does. That might be a question for Agatha.
I guess we have to figure it out. So with all these things going on, even before we get to the point where Darcy's told you all what she managed to accomplish or anything like that, there is a scene, which is all of you standing in this tableau that you're in right now, or this scene that you're in right now. And then there's kind of a shimmery effect. And you realize that there's someone who's looking down into an ewer, like a big, not an ewer, like a big silver dish of water. And their hands, they have sharp red pointed nails, and they kind of like circle and go around the bowl like this. And then suddenly they dash their hand across the surface of the water and it spatters out, and I think it goes my mic, poor mic, and hits the table. They look up, and it's a lady with long, dark red hair, black dress. She's very fair complexioned, wearing a very dark red lipstick, and she's looking at Marco and says, "That's it. I'm gonna have to kill them all." And that is where we will pick up for our finale. So I love y'all. Thank you for playing this crazy bonkers game with me and being all of yourselves, because you're all wonderful people. I'm going to hand things over to Alice, who everyone, please remember that Alice has a Patreon that you should go check out because it has all sorts of wonderful photography. I don't know what a bouquet is, but if you wanted to know what this is, you could find out by joining Alice's Patreon. Hey, Alice.
You can. I also offer photography tuition sessions in it. So hey, you can learn what that is too. Also, Hans is a great Dragon Rider game that you should go and check out. We're just going to promote each other's stuff from now on because we don't do our own. Otherwise, yes. Thank you. Amazing session. I love this game so much. Please go and check out the Discord. There is a channel specifically for this game where we go and scream into the abyss and want to know what's going on and love these characters so much. Please go follow all of these wonderful people on Twitter because that's what they are. They're wonderful. If you've missed any episodes, please go check out YouTube. There is a playlist. Even if you haven't missed an episode, if you want to go and rewatch like I do, please head over there. Also, a huge thank you to our wonderful sponsors who we couldn't do this without. You can see us use the Dark Matter content tomorrow in Argo 37 by Mage Hand Press, and also the Deck of Many. And please, like, their Humblewood is coming out very soon, and I've seen it. It's so freaking good. So please go and check that out as well. Otherwise, it's the finale next week, which I'm not ready for. So keep evoking emotions, everyone, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.